maybe the people that don't get it aren't supposed to. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, and I just don't get it. Joining me tonight, Candy. What does the letter T and an island have in common?
I don't get it.
They're both in the middle of water.
Ah!
Also joined by Gadget.
Hello.
I'm the rare case when today comes before yesterday. What am I?
The rare case where today comes before yesterday. I don't get it.
I'm a dictionary.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Stig, welcome.
Oh, God.
What goes all the way around the world but stays in a corner?
I
I know this, actually.
You're not allowed to answer it.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I got it!
It's a stamp.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that one before.
And you've already heard him. It's Biggie. Biggie, a butcher stands tall at 6 feet 2 inches, 18 stone, has a big bushy beard and long hair in a knot. What does he weigh?
I don't get it.
Meat. He weighs meat. He's a butcher.
Hey.
I was hoping at least
Welcome
one of us
to
would
the
get it.
show.
I got the
Before we
stamp.
get into the show, please consider becoming one of our sexy, incredibly cool patrons to help us divide and conquer the podcasting world. Details are in our show notes, but mainly check out our website, modernescapism.co.uk, for more exquisite content and links to everything we do. And now a message from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm joking.
Whoa.
I don't get it. But now it is time for Biggie's breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's breaking news.
Meta has denied a widespread report that Mark Zuckerberg is standing down as its chief executive. On Tuesday, a report went across the internet that Mr. Zuckerberg himself would be stepping down from his role as head of the company in 2023. Apparently first reported in The Leak, a relatively new online publication. But Andy Stone, Meta's outspoken communications official, flatly denied the report on Twitter. "This is false," he tweeted, giving no more clarification or context to the denial.
I mean, fair enough. Unequivocal.
To me, it sounds like he's definitely leaving.
Yeah, he's back off to the mothership.
Yeah.
Companies that usually have to put out a press release are companies that are like, shit, we've got to act on this before people actually find out the truth. If he wasn't going to leave or anything like that, they won't even acknowledge it, surely.
It wouldn't surprise me if he'd been asked to leave at some point in the future, given that he's
Yes,
lost
a weird
them
cunt.
Well, I mean, aside from that, he's lost them billions over the last year with the fucking metaverse
he's not
shit.
a cash cow at all, is he?
No. And when a CEO starts losing your billions, even if you are one of the richest companies in the world, the board get a little bit twitchy.
Yeah, because ultimately the board can outweigh anything, can't they? As a collective, they're the government, aren't they?
Well,
He's the king.
Sort of. I'm not 100% sure. It depends how many shares he has. If he has the controlling stake in Meta, then no.
Yeah, even if it's like 51%.
If he's got 51%, then they can do fuck
Got
all.
no chance.
Nah.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
so,
it's one of those ones like
good luck in your new job.
where he may have started it, but he's just a detriment because his public image is not good at all.
No.
That company could have gone through stratosphere even more than it already has without him, I think.
He's so weird, isn't he, though? He just
Yeah.
is. He's just
Clammy.
such a weirdo.
He looks more realistic in the metaverse than he does in real life.
I still love
He
when
does.
he had to give evidence to Congress or something like that, and like you see them sitting there, like looks like he's like wearing his dad's best suit and stuff like that, and he just looks like a deer in the headlights.
Ill-fitted.
Yeah,
Just, he's a
Do
terrible
you know what he
bloke.
reminds me of? You know that alien in Men in Black where he's wearing like the human skin, but it doesn't quite fit properly.
The
And he's
Edgar
just
suit.
kind of
yeah.
it's sort of like that, like an alien.
Yeah, he's definitely an alien. Next.
Lizard man.
Okay, God of War Ragnarok's game director, Eric Williams, is hoping to maybe somebody gave him the license to work on the action series Castlevania. When he was speaking to Kinda Funny, the director made a statement about the series. Co-host Tim Getty made a comment about Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Williams' comments on his desire to make a new entry. You guys can make it happen. You have the audience, he says. I don't know what I'm doing next, but somebody give me that Castlevania license. We would love to make that.
I'm sorry,
I'd
but
love to see
Konami
that,
they're never gonna give it in.
No.
Could you imagine?
Also, it
People are
wouldn't
like,
really
we're
be a
not doing it.
Castlevania game, would it, if he's going to give it a
No.
God of War treatment? He just wants...
No.
I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to him using those characters to tell a story, but it wouldn't...
But which characters, which timeline, which continuity? There's so many.
Yeah, you could
it doesn't
just
have
pulling
to be
from some of those
behind
characters. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be behind the character, the camera, and all that. He could do anything he wants with it, can he? But it'd be interesting.
I feel like he's a more narrative-led director, and there's never the last narrative-led Castlevania game was
Lords of Shadow, wasn't
the
it?
sequel.
All of Shadows?
The sequel to that one, yeah, which people didn't like.
No,
There's too much talking in it.
there's too much talk in it, and I think Konami have. I don't think Konami had a good experience working with Western developers on that one. Although
No, they didn't.
they gave Silent Hill 2 to Bloober Team, so any fucking shit could happen. You could have Zynga making a Castlevania game.
Yeah, a Castlevania pop.
Yeah. you know you would fucking buy that and put all the money into it.
Of course I would.
Little pop vinyl version of Alucard.
Of course I would. I love that shit. Ooh. Next.
Well, there are lots of deals during the Black Friday that's recently happened, but Microsoft accidentally sold people the Forza Horizon bundles at literally 61p.
Oops.
When it's actually worth about £170.
Why are people
Microsoft-
buying Xbox games?
No, it's like the
Um,
DLC bundles.
Yeah, it was the DLC
isn't it?
bundles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to
So
say,
that-
why,
so that
why
got
would you buy a
everything.
game that's on Game Pass?
People
it sounds
still,
mental.
people still buy them.
Yeah.
Don't have
You-
Game Pass.
Strange.
You still buy box
Strange,
copies of
innit?
Forza. Buy box copies
Yeah.
of
Why
Halo
is there
Infinite.
even box copies?
I don't get it. I don't get that
But
because
it-
if you work out how many months worth of Game Pass it would be to get those games and play it, you might as well just sign up to Game Pass, and then you have access
I
to other
suppose it's-
games as well as that one.
Places that haven't got good internet and stuff like that are impatient people and stuff.
America.
Understandable. America.
I mean,
I don't
you
get
can
it.
buy
I
a
don't get America.
box copy of Forza Horizon 5 on Amazon right now for £45. So that's 4 months of Game Pass.
Wow.
But
There's
as
going to
that,
be mega fans, aren't there, of Forza that have them in like frames and stuff, aren't they, on their walls?
but,
That's different. They don't open them though. They don't crack open the game. That's the thing.
One to open, one to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I
Yeah.
mean, Candy knows all about that, don't you? With your Skyrim,
Exhibition.
But interestingly, Microsoft began to realise what had happened, so they fixed the price, and now they have also been taking the money back. And I lost my way.
They can't take the money back if you take your card off.
They,
surely.
they can, apparently.
They can refund you and then take the game license away
Yep.
from you.
Right. Okay. Ugh.
That's
Evil.
exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you.
It's such bullshit, that. It is such bullshit.
Yeah, just own up to your mistake.
I had that happen
Honour
to
it.
me once when I tried to order a big box set thing, and they put the box set on, and I ordered it. I was like, and it was a mistake going round, and then they actually one they sent me was like, it wasn't the box set; it was just like the single film. And I was like, hang on, I bought the box set. Oh, that was a mistake. It was just meant for the single film. I was like, yeah, but you advertised it as the box set, and they won't back down. So I just sent the film back, but. Yeah, they're proper bastards when they fuck up like that.
Oh, capitalism. Ah, you've done it again. Next.
Speaking of which, up and coming, standout looking game, the Callisto Protocol. Its up and coming season pass has come out with a bit of an issue. Apparently, people were looking when the details were revealed on Steam that the developer Striking Distance Studios might be holding back content. In this case, it was bonus death animations in order to make in that additional cash. But
It's been debunked.
Glenn Schofield came out and said, to be clear, we're not holding anything back from the game, the season pass. We haven't even started work on this content yet. It's all new stuff that we'll be working on in the new year. Fans have asked for even more deaths, so we're making it a priority next year.
Yeah, so everyone gets the vanilla experience. If you want extras, get extras.
Yeah, people have been kicking off on like Reddit and Twitter. You know, the usual places where people kick off without reading something.
Anything.
And it's like no one seems to appreciate the fact is that, you know, there's probably new enemies in the DLC that is going to be coming out. So yes, there will be new death animations because what Glenn Schofield likes to do is have unique death animations, but depending on monsters, because he's a psychopath.
He's a sadistic bastard.
Everyone remembers that. What was
it sounds like you're going to die a lot in that game.
Yeah, what was the enemy in Dead Space? Was it the Assembler or something where it was like multiple little xenomorphs at once? And if the head version killed you, it like popped your head off and climbed in your body. I mean, it was gross and amazing.
Speaking of which, there was another trailer
for more game.
Yeah, there was a live action trailer for the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, a couple of days ago it came out. It looks amazing.
I've only seen that trailer that me and Gadget watched when we watched the reveal.
I haven't watched anything else.
And there I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that, and just left it at that.
Yeah, I've been on kind of media blackout on it, like on trailers and story stuff.
It's not 70 quid, is it?
No.
I think it's $49.99.
I think
you're right. You can get a good price for it.
It's fucking brilliant. That mad respect for that.
Yeah. Sorry, before you start, Biggie. 50 quid on Amazon for the PlayStation version.
That's this. I want to support that. Do you know what I mean? It makes you feel like, they've gone, no, we're not doing that 70 quid thing. Let's do this. I feel like supporting it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Going to get it. Going to buy it. Going to play it in a day. Finish it.
I'm away when it comes out. I've got to wait like 3 days to play it. I'm going to be...
I'll have beat it before you get home.
It's on my Christmas list. So,
a lovely Christmas game for the family.
Yep.
I will not be playing it. I'll watch
You live on your own, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And I can't afford to turn my lights on, so no way.
No way.
How can you watch all that horror stuff and not play a game like that?
They're not scary. They're terrible.
Exactly. It's all tongue-in-cheek.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Don't worry,
Plus, I feel like I have more of an outcome on what happens in a game. Like, it's all my
fault. To follow. Next.
The BBC is bringing Ubisoft's beloved Splinter Cell series to life in a new Radio 4 drama starting next Friday, 2nd of December.
As much as I'm usually like...
What I want.
I'm like anti-BBC. That's a nice little stab at data for him, that, though. I think that's a cool get.
That was really fucking random. Like when
I think it's a cool get, and to the point where I'm like, ooh, so I pay a month's license fee just to listen to it. Can you do a month?
My mum loves a bit of Radio 4. She's going to go right old shock when she hears that.
I don't want to listen to it and then that scary white van outside my house finds out I've been listening to BBC things and they go, right, we've got him boys, and then SWAT team come in, no license, boy.
Who did Sam Fisher's voice? Was it Michael
Ironside?
Ironside, yeah. He won't do it now. I think his voice got swapped on one of the last games, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It's someone from The Archers who's playing Sam Fisher this time around. Adonis
Really?
Adonis Anthony. Whoever the fuck he is. Who's he play on?
And then he'll do the shipping forecast afterwards.
I know we're laughing, but I'm kind of down for that. I think it sounds cool. It could be cool if they get the sound effects right.
If you happen to listen to The Archers, he plays Russ Jones.
Anything to avoid giving us a new game.
Yeah,
I know.
Oh, I'd kill for another Splinter Cell.
Every time there's some kind of Splinter Cell leak or news, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, we're getting a new game." It's like Sam Fisher is in Smash Brothers. Sam Fisher is in a BBC Radio 4 play.
Like if they said to me, like, "We'll make a new Splinter Cell. It's going to be amazing, but we've got to sacrifice one of your children." I'd give it a second look.
Like, weigh up the options.
I'd think about it. I'm like, would I get in trouble for this?
Imagine that play. All right, Fisher, you are clear to engage. All right, me babbers.
Next. I've never listened to a moment of The Archers, but because it's cultural phenomenon, I know what it is. So I get your references.
It's got the cast this day, hasn't it? Yeah, ooh, interesting.
You know
because I'm just reading it.
Sure, no.
Details about the rumoured Alien game by Grasshopper manufacturer. Apparently the code name is Marathon, has a AAA budget, made for current gen consoles. It's taking inspiration from Dead Space and Resident Evil, good move, and a tentative 2023 holiday release.
The year of space continues.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that someone's given Grasshopper a budget.
I can't see it being normal. It's Grasshopper.
I mean, bear in mind they do No More Heroes.
They don't do normal games.
No,
ever.
They do weird.
Didn't they do
weird
the
acid
Deadly
trips with
Premonition game?
No, they didn't do Deadly Premonition. Someone else.
Did not.
Same director, wasn't it? It was Suda 51.
Yeah, that's
this will be the point where Punk's screaming at his phone or something like that because we're getting it all wrong.
Do their games sell though? Like, I know they're popular with
hardcore
sort
of fucking nerds.
The proper cultural
they're
milestones
cults.
for some people.
Cult classics. I mean, the last 5 games they've done was so in descending order: No More Heroes 3, Travis Strikes Again, Cinemora EX, Let It Die, and then Killer is Dead.
I've never played any of them.
I mean, I've played Killer is Dead. Well, they did Lollipop Chainsaw as well.
I played that.
Yeah. Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse.
Yeah, I played that. That's good.
Yeah, they do really fucking weird games. Killer 7.
Alien's pretty weird.
I remember Killer 7.
Alien is pretty weird if you think about it. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
pretty
but I
weird.
mean,
It might work.
it's another Alien game with a big budget. Based
I'm into
on
it, yeah.
Survival horror. That's perfect.
Yeah, and Grasshopper aren't like a multiplayer studio either, so it's going to be single player, which is what we want.
Like, I mean,
Fuck all
obviously,
the marine shit off.
Yeah, obviously everyone wanted Alien Isolation 2 and they wanted Creative Assembly to do that, but that's not going to happen.
No,
so
I want a mode with Alien Isolation where the alien's nice.
You can mod the PC version to not have the alien there at all. You just get explosive Astapol.
Can I have a version where it comes out and he just wants hugs?
He just pops out with a birthday cake.
Yeah, I can't deal with that game. I love it so much. I think it's so
when the inner mouth
beautiful,
comes
I
out,
can't finish it.
it's like a party
Pie
whistle.
blow it, yeah. It's like, I've been
so
misunderstood
scary.
for so long. Everyone just runs away from me.
Makes me
I
very
don't like
angry.
something I can't kill. I don't like it. I can't kill it. And it knows where I am all the time.
That is one of the
Don't
worst
like
things
it.
about isolation, is not being able to, like, you can scare it away, but not being able to kill it. It's
Like when I did that stream, they gave me a gun. I thought, here we go. I've got a big magnum, biggest space magnum you've ever seen. And then I've seen Gadget in the chat going, you can't kill it. You can't kill it. It's coming at me going, why have I got a gun?
to kill other
Using
things.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah, forget that. No, it's too scary, man. I want it a bit more fun.
no,
Fun
scary,
alien.
Scary.
Alien Isolation is incredible.
It's too scary for me. Next.
Speaking of scary, a new Bambi horror film is in the works. Apparently, the film follows Bambi turning into a vicious killing machine after the death of its
You want
mother.
about the deer?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Why?
because people got
There's
hyped
a
up
Winnie
about
the
the Winnie the Pooh. one.
Why?
Oh, is that gone into public domain now?
I mean, the story Bambi's based on is in the public domain. It's not a Disney
I
original
don't know.
story.
I didn't know they owned it. I don't know.
There is a Saturday Night Live sketch from ages ago where The Rock is Bambi taking revenge on.
Oh, see, that's
Death of
fucking
his
great.
It was a killer deer.
Killer deer. I kind of hope he's like tooled up like John Rambo.
I remember I used to go out with this girl. It's a bit of a tangent. I used to go out with this girl and we were watching Bambi, and she said to me, "Oh, I love it when it flashes forward and Bambi's a handsome deer." I'm like, "What do you mean handsome deer? What do you mean?" I think she
I get it.
unlocked some kind of furry trait.
Oh, there is people. Do you know, like the fish in Pinocchio. There was a thing on Twitter where someone said, "Oh, I only watched the new Pinocchio to see if the fish was still fuckable," and it was like, it still is.
What?
The fish is
people
still
weird.
sexy because they made the features of the fish like.
I'm not kink shaming, but calling Bambi a handsome older deer is weird. We're not together anymore.
No.
Killer deer horror film sounds right up your street, Candy.
I'm so up for it. I'm excited.
What's it going to be called? Like Raining Blood Deer? So, I don't know.
Bambi the Revenge.
Bambi Requiem.
Yeah, Bambi Requiem.
Yeah, that works. Next.
Requiem for a Deer.
Yeah, you've done it. You've done it. Deer Hunter. They're all there. They're all there.
Sadly, Wilco Johnson, Dr. Feelgood guitarist, has died aged 75. the musician's choppy guitar style
Choppity, you could
and
say
manic stage presence was a major influence on punk. Now, when this was posted, I was looking at this guy thinking, where the hell do I know him from? And then it
Game
just
of Thrones.
clicked. Game of Thrones, yeah.
He had
Ilan
quite a
Payne.
career.
Executioner.
He's Ilan Payne, the mute head chopper offerer.
Yeah.
I really like Wilco Johnson's playing, and I like quite a lot of Dr. Feelgood songs.
I like his interviewing style. He doesn't give a fuck.
No, he
Obviously, he's
never
a punk.
did.
He's a punk, so he's not gonna give a fuck.
I mean, because he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer like 10 years ago, which he survived. And I like because he started doing like a media tour when he was diagnosed with it, because he put out an album with the lead singer of The Who. And he was going on like all these kind of radio shows and breakfast shows, and then people were talking to him, was like, how do you feel about, having this like death sentence on your head? He's like, I've lived long enough. Yeah, buy me new music. Like, he didn't give a shit.
Make sure my kids are all right. Buy me music.
Yeah. There's some great videos on YouTube if you look at Wilco Johnson's guitar style, of him explaining how he plays guitar, because he never used a plectrum, he always used his hands. And he used to play rhythm and lead at the same time. And he just kind of developed it because he was left-handed, but couldn't play a left-handed guitar.
He played it right, didn't he, instead?
Yeah. And he's got there is this unique sound to him that is quite obviously him. Yeah. And I just really like the music he made. He was a good guitarist.
Yeah, good bloke by all accounts.
Aye.
Good socialist man.
Liked a pint.
Liked a pint.
Another story from the weird world web. We all know that when lottery winners wish to remain anonymous, don't want lots of publicity or people to treat them differently, and usually they just accept the money and don't do the photo shoot. One man in China has taken a different approach, however, after winning £26 million. He appeared to accept his cheque in a bright yellow costume with oversized eyes and a big head, with no idea what it's supposed to be in. And I put an image of it in the Discord chat for you in the command centre. So
he's just like, guess what? I'm fucking rich. I love it.
He said,
wow.
Speaking to local reporters, he said, I'm really happy I won, but I don't want my family to know about this since they might become too arrogant and complacent in the future. The man, identified only as Lee, wore the get-up to face the media in Nanning City and Guangxi province to claim his prize. And it's just so weird because you either appear as you are or stay anonymous, but he's gone in between.
He looks like a knockoff Slime from Dragon Quest.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
There's been a few people to because there was
so much puff.
Yeah,
there was that American that won something like 150 million on the Powerball, and in America you have to do the photo shoot. You have to go and get it publicly.
By law, you've got to declare it, haven't you?
Yeah. So he turned up in a Scream mask because there was nothing saying you had to show your face. But you had to do the photo shoot. So he got his check on the Scream.
He'd have made it better if he went as the Scare Remover stoned face one.
See, I don't think I would mind people knowing, because eventually people would figure it out by the fact that I suddenly moved to a massive house and owned a brand new car. But the Yorkshireman in me, I'd still be tight as fuck.
I bet I'd be tighter.
Do you know what I mean? No, but every time you went out, get the pints in. We are the millionaire. I'm like, yeah. That doesn't mean that I should have to buy everything. I'd still be
just because I own the pub doesn't mean I have to get your pints in.
I'd struggle to get that out of me.
Yeah.
I'm tight enough as it is when we do stuff like that, but never mind if I had all the money.
I just go into complete hermit mode. But what annoys me is when people say
now.
stuff like that, I don't want my family to, more so. When they say, I don't want my family to become complacent or it's not going to change me. Well, fucking give it back then. Give it to somebody.
Oh,
who...
yeah.
I want it to change you.
We've won 25, 30 million on the lottery, but we're going to stay in this crappy house and we're not going to use any of it and we're not going to change. Why have you played then?
Yeah.
Give me the money. I'll make the most of it.
I can tell you now, without any shadow of a doubt, I'd be dead in 30 days.
That's being generous, Oodles.
Yeah, I'm going to say
30
maybe
minutes.
a week.
30
dead.
minutes.
I'd be like, right, I can do anything, and I am doing it all.
I can do anything I want, and what I want to do is 4 kilograms of cocaine.
What a way to go, though.
Live on the podcast.
I want to dive into it like Scrooge McDuck.
Like, has anyone got any, like, do the Nexus? And he'd be like, has anyone got anything else to declare? No. Well, I have. And then...
And the episode would never end.
We're doing Secret Santa, and it's like, it's just a big bag of white powder. It's from me, guys. I got you some Coke. Merry Christmas. Oh, God. Yeah. Don't do drugs, kids. Just say no.
Give me
Get any more, Biggie?
That's it, mate.
Excellent. Let's move on to the Nexus. We're going to start with Stig, actually, this week. I often don't start with Stig, and he sits there waiting patiently, so I'm going to give it to him.
Okay.
You go first, babe.
Right, this week, the third season of Dead to Me came out on Netflix. This is American black comedy starring Christina Applegate, Linda Cardellini, and James Marsden. And it is the story of a woman called Jen Harding, whose husband Ted is killed in a hit and run shortly before the start of the first series. And she meets Linda's character, Judy Hale, in a grief support group, and they befriend each other. It's really, really good. Like,
yeah, I saw the trailer.
It
looks good.
Really good. Like, this is the third series. It obviously had a break in between because of COVID. And this is the final series as well. So it's short. The short 30-minute episodes. There's 30 episodes in total. There's 3 series. It's a perfect kind of one to jump in and you know, you can have a good time.
I like
with
both
it.
of them though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I really
they're
do.
both really good. So it's a comedy drama, and there's a lot of some really tough subjects in there in terms of like grief and trauma, and there's a lot of secrets and lies and kind of stuff. But the comedy is played perfectly in it. Like Christina Applegate she is amazing in this. Just the dry, witty responses, the sarcasm. It's just pinpoint. She's just so funny in this when she needs to be, and the friendship between the two is they have such great chemistry in there. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of reveals and revelations, and stuff happens, and there's twists and there's turns, and it's so bingeable as well. Like I said, the 30-minute episodes, and you'll sit and you'll just watch like 3 or 4, and you've not even realised, and then the whole series is done. And it's a shame.
I do love a drama like this, though. I love the subject matter.
Yeah, and we were sat talking the other day about how we actually quite like these shorter episodes. Like, shows like this used to have gone like 40 to 50 minutes, and you do
more
get
digestible,
like
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that it's only 30 minutes and it ends, and it's I want more, and you feel like you can do 2 episodes, right? Like, whereas if I was watching 1 episode, I'd probably just watch that and then watch the next one the next day or something. But yeah, I can't spoil it because this is obviously season 3, but there's a lot of shit that's happened, and there's a lot of stuff coming to the forefront and building up, and it's just really good. It is definitely worth your time. Everyone in it is really good in it. I think James Marsden just shows again how underrated he is. I think
he's good.
Yeah, he's just really, really good in this. But yeah, the central characters, the central performances with Christine Applegate and Linda Cardellini, like they just play off each other amazingly. They're so different, the characters as well. One's like very much a no nonsense, this is how it is kind of person, and like Linda Cardellini, Judy's her character's more like she'll kind of look into the spiritual kind of side of things, and you know there's a lot of back and forth and fun with that kind of stuff. But I found out as well, just on a tangent from the show, that this actually might be Christine Applegate's final performance as well.
She's been having health problems, hasn't she?
She's been having health problems, and it's evident from in the show. You can tell because of that.
Yeah.
But she's
great though, isn't she?
But she's still really good. You can see like she's obviously had the health issues have come to the forefront between the series. But she doesn't miss a step still. She's still really, really good in this show, like really brilliant. And it's, like I said, definitely check it out. It's really, really good. We really enjoy it. Got I think
will do, mate.
A couple of episodes left on that, but yeah, it's what we've been. Dead to Me. Yeah, we're waiting for a while for it to come back, and it's one of those ones like as soon as it came out, I was like, right, jump on that. So.
Excellent.
Um,
Any more?
yeah, just because that was quite quick. I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special as well.
I ain't seen this yet. I didn't know we're out.
Anyone else watch this?
Nope, not yet.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, so this is the Guardians of the Galaxy special that's on Disney Plus. So it's similar to the Werewolf by Night. It's a short 45-minute Marvel special presentation that they're
Like
doing.
mini films, aren't there?
Yeah, just this little mini story, but it also does have a bit of a knock-on effect, and there is like kind of important things within there for further down the line in the MCU. Basically, it's
Is it as good as the Star Wars holiday special?
See, when this got announced, I thought that's what they were going for, but with the Guardians, I thought it was going to be a
Just
tongue-in-cheek.
the name.
Yeah, like kind of both owned by Disney. It was going to be similar to that, but they're going to do it with the Guardians. It's not that. It's actually just a little 45-minute story, and it's about Mantis and Drax trying to kidnap Kevin Bacon to take him back to nowhere.
Because Star-Lord always mentioned Kevin Bacon, didn't
for
he?
Star-Lord, because he's in a bit of a funk at the moment with what happened at the end of Endgame, in Infinity War and Endgame, and they're trying to do something good for him, and obviously because Christmas. Isn't a thing in
That's
space. Cool. They want to bring Christmas.
And they're sick of the EE adverts.
He is channeling some EE energy in this. To be fair,
Mobile.
Yeah,
join EE Mobile today.
It's really good. It's a lot of fun. Like both Pom Clementif and Dave Bautista are so funny in this. Like Bautista is just hilarious throughout all of this.
This must be why I saw on Twitter that someone wanted them to do a buddy cop film.
Yeah, like they work off each other so well.
Their friendship was the best thing about Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
100%.
Yeah, they are.
You're so hideous.
Her innocence and his innocence, I guess, kind of bat off each other quite well. I think her naivety and his innocence kind of batter off each other quite well.
He's blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have all that, but also with them kind of on Earth, they come back to Earth, and they kind of get mistaken for, in Hollywood as people dressing up and stuff like that, and they go and they have a party, they get drunk, and they just kind of do things that they just wouldn't do on their planets. And there's some revelations about Mantis in it as well, and also Groot has changed, which was the biggest shock to me.
And the less Chris Pratt, the better, really.
Chris Pratt is in it.
Oh, is he? I didn't think he'd be in it as much.
Well, it's
we've been so busy.
But yeah, it's really good. Groot. Just touch on Groot. Groot is now buff.
Nice.
Buff Groot. So he's grown up from his adolescence, teenage.
He's been to the gym,
and he's now stacked.
I like it.
That's where we're at with Groot. That's his next evolution.
That's funny because in the comics he is buff. He's been buff for the past 10 years, so that works.
Yeah. Well, James Gunn has always said that this Groot is the son of the original Groot.
That's how it works. Yeah,
that's how it works. It isn't like him just being reborn.
No.
So it is going to be a completely different look, and
I think they drop a seed or something. The giant plant things. They drop a seed when they die, and it's the new one.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
It can be a female and stuff.
Yeah, 45 minutes. It's a fun special, and I think the Guardians are probably one of the best things in the MCU currently.
Yeah,
still
easily consistent. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. I'll go next. I've been playing Gran Turismo 7 a lot.
How many hours?
Do you know what? It's a really... I don't know. I hadn't checked. It's a really good car PG. Basically, you know what Gran Turismo is, so I don't have to explain that to you. It's a car game for car nerds, and I'm not a car nerd, but they've done something with it to make it so approachable to people like me that just like to see arrows pointing up and the my stats going blue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It does that, and the basic. I don't know if you know anything about this number 7. Where it's basically like you're in a map, and there's a cafe in the middle, and that's where you hang out. And basically, that cafe owner gives you a menu and is like, "Get these 3 cars for me by doing these certain races, and come back to me, and I'll give you some money." So you do that, And the loop is just so addictive. I'm like genuinely having a really good time. I like the cars themselves. It's not an arcade racer. You need to understand that. Tiny little tweaks like putting different wheels on, different tyres on, will make a massive difference on how your car handles and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because it's always been a driving simulator rather than an arcade racer.
It absolutely is a simulator. Now, I don't have the assists on, but I imagine if you really wanted to make it accessible, you could put all the assists on and make it even easier for you, Sen, and just enjoy, because it's gorgeous. It's stunning. Like, you've got options of frame rate or graphics, and because it's a racing game, I've gone for graphics this time. So I've got all the ray tracing and everything turned on, because you don't need 60 frames per second on a racing game. I don't think so anyway, because you're mainly going in a straight line. But yeah, it's just really fun. It's not the main thing I want to talk about. I just want to let people know that it's really good, and I know it's going really cheap at the moment. It was a £70 game, and now it's not.
Well, yeah,
because
they fucked it over with the microtransactions and no fucker bought it.
Yeah, which is not the case apparently anymore. Like,
no, because they had to roll it back because someone worked out you had to spend like 1 million hours to get everything or some shit like that.
I've literally, I'll be realistic. I've probably played about 10 hours of it, and I've unlocked at least 2 cars an hour, which to me is enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fine. But yeah, the main thing I want to talk about is something that I've absolutely fallen in love with, and I've finished the first season of, and the only season of so far. I mean, it has been renewed for a second season. Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. AMC's.
Ooh, I want to watch this at some point.
I've already buried the lead. I've fallen in love with it. Do you know how I said Sandman's the best adaptation I've seen from like book to screen?
Yeah.
This is the second best.
So is it better than the film adaptation?
It makes the film look pathetic.
Good, because I can't stand the film.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of the film either. It stars Jacob Anderson as Louis Dupont de la. You know, Louis, who was Brad Pitt. He is now Jacob Anderson, who was in Game of Thrones as the Unsullied General. What's his name?
Oh,
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm, yeah.
Yep, him. So he's Louis. Yes, he's black. Get over it, internet. And Sam Reed as Lestat de Lioncourt. Now, we all know what Lestat has to look like. A blonde, androgynous Frenchman vampire.
The opposite of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, this guy he's so good. He's candy. Mate.
I mean, it doesn't sound like my type, but I'm willing to give it a go.
No, dude is a pure goth.
Oh, okay.
I think Tom Cruise looked all right in the film.
Mate, he's 4'2".
Just look at pictures of him, like he's very like that.
No, God, this new guy. He's an Australian guy. I don't know what else he's been in, but fucking hell, he's good. And we've got Eric Bogosian as Daniel Malloy, the guy that interviews Louis, and Bailey Bass as Claudia, the child vampire. Now, if you've seen the film, that technically, in a strange, weird way, is canon. And this is going to be strange for me to explain this to you. So, Louis, who narrates the whole book and film and stuff like that, has been a massive unreliable narrator. He lied to Daniel Malloy in the first meeting in the 80s.
Right.
And this is now set in Dubai in 2022, in the middle of COVID, where Louis, who obviously doesn't age, stunning young man, has invited a now 70-odd-year-old Daniel Malloy to come and have the real interview with the vampire. And straight away, Daniel's like, you nearly killed me last time. If you remember at the end, he's like, please turn me into a vampire. And he's like, you've never been listening to me and all that. You've got to forget that he used to be Brad Pitt. That's what you've got to forget. And basically, he says, this is the actual truth. I'm like everything to bear now. And he goes through his life story like you expect. Now, the main difference with this is, yes, Louis is now a black man in the South in those times. And it is played heavily on that and how he's a sugar plantation owner as well as a pimp in this.
So it's doing like the New Orleans thing rather than the actual French thing.
Yes, absolutely. and basically, I lost my train of thought then. it's how can he, as a black man, be successful in a white man's world? Because this is before he's a vampire, obviously, and it just shows you how much presence he has as a man before he actually gets turned. Like in the books and in the film, he was a man that was accepting of death. He wanted to die, didn't he? And that's why Lestat chose him. In the proper, quote unquote, proper version of his story, Lestat wanted him because he's such a success and he's beautiful and he wants to, I don't know, make something evil out of something beautiful. Do you know what I mean? You know what Lestat's like? He's a bastard.
Yeah.
And it goes into more because it's a 7-episode season and they're all like an hour long. So it goes into so much more detail about it. And they've changed bits that even Anne Rice, before she passed away this year, she was the executive producer before she passed away. She accepts the changes are better for a modern audience. Like in the books and in the film, Claudia, the child vampire, was 5 years old, but she had the mind of a 65-year-old by the end. In this, she's 18, which, I don't know, it makes it a bit more palatable, doesn't it?
Mm.
Like, because she talks about sexuality and stuff like that. Like, she's a 65-year-old person inside an 18-year-old's body, which is a bit more acceptable, in my opinion.
When did she write the books? How old were the books?
80s.
Yeah.
How old is she meant to be, though? Is she meant to be a young girl?
In the book, she's 5.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just kind of the...
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. Because I think that's kind of the whole point.
Yes, it is. Oh, that's what she was putting across originally.
Yeah.
It's like her mind is aging, but her body isn't.
Yeah.
And it talks about how she's always gonna. It sounds awful, but she's always gonna be a virgin forever and stuff like that. Because she's fucking 5.
Yeah,
but
she's
in
like
this,
10 in the film or something. She's somewhere around that.
Yeah. I don't know. It makes it more palatable. And Bailey Bass that plays her is fucking sensational. And they changed stuff to make it like. I've read the books millions of times. I've watched the film and stuff like that. And loads of things happen differently. And the fact of the premise is that Louis was lying in the 80s to Daniel, which makes it even better. There's twists and turns that I didn't see coming and stuff like that. And it's just they've like, instead of making it where it was set during the Civil War in the book, they've made it so it's set just before World War I in this. So it's still, they can still walk around Louisiana as dandies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Fops.
Yeah.
But they've got cars and electric's just starting to happen and stuff like that. So it's, I don't know, it's a bit more, it feels modern and it feels good. And my God, it's gory. Oh! It's brutal. Like there's one point where Lestat punches a priest through his face and his hand goes through his head.
As you do.
And you just believe everything about it because the actors are perfect for everything. Like, especially Sam Reed as Lestat. He is an empowering figure, imposing, naturally tall, not on heels like Tom Cruise. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's beautiful. Don't get me. If you've never read the book, it's a gay book. It's about gay people, gay vampires. This is a gay show. There's a lot of gay people in it, so get over it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's sensational. There's a lot of men kissing. There's a lot of dongs. So
and that's
just my that's my warning for you. But I think it's fucking fantastic. And the season finale basically ends where do you know in the film where they went to France, they escaped and went to France?
Yeah,
it ends then.
Right. Okay. So it's like a third of the way into the full story.
Yeah. So
like that?
Then in the next season, it's going to be meeting all the old vampires, not the New World vampires, the old vampires. It gets
God, it's going to get even gayer.
Oh, it's going to get super gay. Super gay. Because vampires are gays. They're all gay. It's brilliant. I think it's sensational. It's such an AMC, they can be quite hit and miss, can't they? But
sure.
They've put all the money in. They've called it I think they've called it the Immortal Universe. They're doing all the books, which is, some books don't even have Lestat and Louis in them. Do you know what I mean? Completely. Queen of the Damned, they're doing that. They're doing it all.
Hey, they might make it good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to it, and it's already been renewed. critics said it's brilliant. It's not. I had to use a VPN to watch it, so it's not available in this country. But you know how to do it. I think it's, again, when I recommended Sandman to you, you loved it, didn't you? So I'm recommending Interview with the Vampire. It's fucking brilliant. Biggie, what you been doing?
I watched the new Netflix TV show, 1899. It's a multilingual German epic period mystery science fiction series.
I also watched the first episode of this.
Any more adjectives you can fit into there?
It was created by, forgive the pronunciation, Jante Fries, who's a German film producer and screenwriter, and also known for co-creating the other Netflix series, Dark.
Yeah.
And
got the same actors in, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's also created with her partner, Baran Bo Odar, who does a lot of the direction for the show. It's set in, funny enough, 1899.
No way.
The series follows a group of European migrants travelling from London on a steamship named Kerberos to start new lives in New York City. 4 months earlier, its sister ship, Prometheus, disappeared without a trace on the same route.
Cerberus, by the way, as well.
I was going to say it's Cerberus, not Kerberos.
Yeah. Oh,
that's got a K in front of it, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Cerberus. But I've only seen the first episode. You might be right.
But you know me and my facts, always right. But yeah, it's
Never
to
deny
go
it.
into too much detail about the show would just spoil so much to come. It's very hard to talk about this show without ruining it for you. But
Yeah, a lot does happen in the
it.
first episode as well, doesn't it? A lot happens.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, and for the majority of the show, you will have no idea what the fuck is happening. But it is done so well. There are so many characters in this that all obviously have different links. They've all got an agenda while they're on the ship. And what makes it very interesting, it's a blend of time warping, mind-bending, horror, thriller. It leaves you utterly confused. Just as you start to think you're getting your head around it, things change.
Yeah.
Every character actor in the show is fantastic. And what also makes it interesting is how you have a mix of all these different characters. Some are Danish, Polish, Spanish, German, English, Cantonese, and French, who all have to sort of interact with each other without like translators present. So it's about trying to speak about what's happening with gesticulations and some form of understanding about the situations. The effects and the sound design are just epic and really work with the show. There's a lot of scenes outside with the sort of the cruise ship, and it's just brilliantly done. I can only urge people to watch it, but just expect a mind-bending experience because you really won't get what is happening. And every time you think things are really obvious, it won't be what you're thinking. And
There were some flaws to the episode I watched.
I'm sure there might be. But as it goes on, a lot of things will start to make sense, believe me.
And I will
the
go
twist
into
at
those
the
flaws.
The twist at the end, though, is fantastic. And it is definitely set up for at least one or maybe two series after that.
Oh, did you watch it
That will
all?
be explained. Yeah, that will be explained once
sweet.
you've seen the whole show. And it's very much like the first season of Dark, where you think, you know, what's happening, and then it's open for another season. And this is kind of the same kind of thing. They've obviously got an MO for their series, but it's so good. I really enjoyed it. It's slow. It's very, very slow, but if you can take in the atmosphere and the acting, which is brilliant, you'll enjoy it as I did.
That's the flaw I've got with some of the acting. So, I mean, like I say, I only watched the first episode, but I appreciate, like, with Dark, the whole thing was German, wasn't it?
Mhm.
And I just adored every second of it. With this, even though there's some of the same... Some people speak English in it, some people speak other languages, but for some reason, some of the like non-characters, the background characters, they dubbed them so badly into English. It's awful. It's like, it's off-putting. So, just a pre-warning, maybe change your language settings a little bit.
I've
you
got
not
it.
notice?
I've got it with English subtitles, but that issue will be explained later.
Oh, shit. All right, that's actually a feature. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that makes me want to watch it even more, because I really like that first episode.
Yeah.
And I like how they made the... Go on.
I was just going to say, I like anything in it. I like really fast-paced shows as much as anything like this. And this is really slow paced. I really enjoyed chilling out, just soaking up what's been going on in the show whilst not understanding what's going on until things are revealed. But yeah, it's.
I like how they
you
made
enjoyed it. You will like the rest of it.
They made the vagrant guy from Dark the captain in this because he's brilliant.
Yeah,
he's fucking
he's so
brilliant.
good.
Him. I don't know the actor's name, but he's a presence, isn't he?
Yeah. If it's the captain of the ship, it's Andreas Peachman.
He's got Mads Mikkelsen vibes to me.
Yes, he does. Totally agree with you on that.
Pure Mads daddy.
And that's Candy in.
Okay, there's too much to watch
so
this
far.
week. Absolutely, yeah, brilliant.
But I'd love to talk more about it, but it would just risk ruining what's coming up for
When I've
anyone
finished
watching
it, I'll
so
finish
I'd
it this
rather
week.
not.
We'll have a good chat about it, mate.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, that's the main thing that I've done this week.
That's brilliant, mate.
Apart
Full
from
season.
recording an epic Scorched Sheep episode, which we can't talk too much about.
No, because everything has to be a surprise and people will find out.
Yeah. Speaking of Scorched Sheep, Gadget, you've been doing?
I have been goofing around on Audible because I reactivated my subscription because I was looking for a few things. And
Yeah, man.
based on Nacho Man's recommendation from our Discord, I listened to the audio drama of William Gibson's script for Alien 3.
Oh, shit,
Ooh.
really? Oh, shit. I've been eyeballing this for ages. Please tell me it's good.
It's fucking outstanding.
Yes! Yes! Yes, it's been on my wish list. Oh, I'm fucking going to purchase that today.
It's if you've got the Audible subscription, you can just listen to it. You don't need to buy it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got the subscription. Oh, fuck.
So it's,
Downloading now.
Yeah, so it's not an audiobook, it's an audio drama. It's directed by the best looking guy in audio dramas, which is Dirk Maggs. Seriously, Google him. He has the most amazing mullet.
Beautiful bloke.
Yeah. And it stars Lance Henriksen and Michael Biehn.
Does it?
Yeah.
Are they proper in it?
Yeah, probably. There's a few other cast members, but essentially, so if you don't know the kind of the torrid tale of Alien 3 is because Alien 3, the film, is not very good.
And
It's
they kill the
not-
characters off.
It's not the worst Alien film because Ridley Scott's managed to plumb to whole new depths of that. But for the longest time, it was the worst Alien film. And that was because, it was David Fincher's first film. There was a lot of studio interference, a lot of fucking around. Scripts got back and forth and all that. But one of the biggest issues with the Alien 3 that we got was that they killed... at the end of Aliens, they escape from LV-426. And everything is... They go into hypersleep and everything's supposed to be fine. In the Alien 3 film that we got, they kill off 3 of the main characters. They kill off Bishop, they kill off Hicks, and they kill off Newt off screen.
Which makes everything from Alien 2 pointless.
Yeah. And then Ripley wakes up on this prison planet that they've crash landed on, and somehow there is a xenomorph there, and it doesn't explain how a xenomorph got onto the Sulaco when they were escaping, because the whole thing was nuking it from orbit because it's the only way to be sure. That was the whole thing in their escape. And then the fight with the alien queen on the ship itself. But it was the aliens was set up to be that no, there were no aliens on board the ship when they got away. So that was kind of the biggest plot points. And also just the film wasn't very good. Lots of kind of off-screen deaths and shit like that. It was poor. So one of the original scripts for it was written by William Gibson, who's a very famous cyberpunk author. He created the Neuromancer series, which were kind of some of the progenitors to the cyberpunk concept. And he wrote this script in 1988. And 20th Century Fox just said no. And he did a second version in 89, and they said no. And then we got the bullshit that we got in the mid-90s. William Gibson's version is fucking incredible because it basically very, very much the same with the Aliens follows directly on from Alien. This follows on directly, but an even closer time frame because it starts off with the Sulaco being found, much in the same way that Aliens starts off with Ripley being found drifting in space. It expands the universe, so you get so whereas the first two films were very focused around kind of Weyland-Yutani operations, this brings in people like the UPP, who are another faction who are very, very much socialist and anti-capitalist, and they'll play it very Russian and Chinese, weirdly enough, for something written in the late 80s. But it expands the lore of the aliens themselves. It kind of gives you an explanation of how a xenomorph might have gotten away from LV-426. The way it's explained is, Bishop gets torn in half at the end of Aliens. The explanation is that the Queen, because it's the Queen tearing him in half, the Queen lays an egg in him. Because he's not biological, it can't really kind of grow in him. But when someone opens up the stasis pod, Facehugger jumps out. That's how shit starts to kick off.
I read this script last year when the book came out. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's really, really good. You get more kind of ideas on kind of like more explanation of kind of how the aliens reproduce, where the queens come from. You get the first introduction of the hybrids, which kind of Ridley Scott played with a little bit in Prometheus. And then
the deacons.
Yeah, and then which then became the abominations, kind of further into alien lore and into the alien role-playing game and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that gets put into the expanded universe of Alien comes from this. You get a lot more focus on Hicks and Newt as two characters. Hicks takes on a bit like Ripley took on a very maternal role with Newt. Hicks takes on quite a paternal role with her and is quite kind of protective of her. The big focus on this one, I think this is why 20th Century Fox didn't take it on. It is not focused around Ripley. Ripley is alive in it, but she spends most of it
She's not the main character.
She's not the main character. She kind of spends most of it in kind of a medically induced coma. Because she gets injured at one point. And that works for me because the first two films, everything is seen through Ripley's eyes. It works really well in the first film because she is as scared as the rest of us. In the second film, she's the expert, but then she becomes kind of a gun-toting badass, which I think I know she's supposed to be badass, but I don't think that kind of worked for Ripley because she was supposed to be a space trucker. She's not a soldier.
Get your hands off of you, bitch.
Yeah, which, I mean, I did like that, the way she deals with the alien queen is using a loader that she would have known how to use. But that kind of thing. But she's not...
She had a license for it.
Yeah, she's not a colonial marine. She's not for the shooty bang bang. Well, that's what she shouldn't be. So the fact that it takes the story away from her and puts it onto Hicks and to Bishop, it gives it a bit of a wider scope, and it allows William Gibson to kind of expand the lore and expand the concepts and give you a bit more of it. Like, one of the ideas Gibson puts forward is that the aliens were created as a weapon, which Ridley Scott kind of played with in Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
He fucked it up,
but not very well. Whereas like the details in this one of how they would be a weapon and how they would come to be as an hypothesis of the scientists in this one works. And then there's the concept of like the airborne spores, which is what become the abominations in Prometheus, and all that kind of thing. And it kind of widens out and widens out. So a lot of the ideas that Gibson put in have made their way into the Alien franchise over the years, but 20th Century Fox fucked him over. They should have used this film. It is so much better than the Alien 3 we got.
Oh, when I read that script, I'm sure I mentioned it on the podcast, but only fleetingly. I was just like, what? Why? Why not? Why is this so much better? And because obviously I know the characters are made from the films, I'm reading it in my head as those. So if these guys are actually acting it out in the audio,
yeah, they are.
I can't wait.
The woman that they've got to play Ripley as well does a fantastic Sigourney Weaver impression. I thought it was her at first. I had to check the cast list. It's not
to
her,
double check,
but she is really good. And there's a bit of trivia on the Alien 3 fandom page. The only bit from Gibson's version of Alien 3 that made it into the film was the characters having a barcode tattoo to identify them.
Wow.
One character in his script has that, and that is the only thing that was carried into the David Fincher version, so annoying.
I really don't like Alien 3
Very
at all.
I'm an apologist for it, but even like listening to this is just like, it's so much better. This is so much better. So if you've got the Audible subscription, it's on there. Give it a listen. It's really well acted. The sound design is brilliant, and it's just a really fucking good time.
Speaking of Audible subscription, you need to record your book. You reading it, Gadget?
Yeah.
I know.
I'll buy it. And not even with a credit, I'll buy it cash money.
I was because it's been out for like 5 years now. I was tempted just to make it into a podcast and just release it week on week.
That's a fucking great idea.
Nice.
Think there's space on the Modern Escapism network for that?
Yeah, mate, there's space. There is space. That is highbrow, mate. The highest.
And we all have acting roles that we could maybe perform.
No, he wants to do it
and
properly, mate.
We can all do voices.
He's got
professionally.
reverence for his own work. He's not an idiot.
Instead, can play the Americans.
Yep.
There is one American that I did write in dialect. He does say y'all a lot. Anyway, but aside from that, just give us a listen. It's on Audible. It's really, really good. Or alternatively, there is a novelization of it, which I've literally just added to my Amazon wish list so someone can buy me that for Christmas. And there is
Too late now, mate.
There is a graphic novel version as well. I think Dark Horse did.
Yeah, you can like I said, I read the Kindle version of the actual script, and they've novelized that a little bit, but not massively. It's still script.
Yeah, no, it was actually like a proper novel version came out last year.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, that's awesome.
I just looked on Audible. In fact, all the Alien movies currently, and other stories as well around the Alien universe.
Some of the spin-offs are brilliant.
And they're all included in Audible at the moment.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to.
Great.
I'm probably going to have to start listening once I finish what I'm listening to now, because based on a recommendation from Candy actually a little while ago, I'm listening to Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which is really good. I'm enjoying that so far. But
Andy Weir still working? Oh.
Well, it's significantly better than the Artemis book that he put out, which I hated every second of. But I'll talk about that properly once I've finished. I'm only 6 chapters in.
Speaking of Candy recommendations, what you been doing this week, girl?
Well, going back to the goth theme, I've been watching Wednesday on Netflix. So, obviously Wednesday.
Did you watch it on Wednesday?
I did not.
Oh, weird.
So yeah, this series follows a slightly more grown-up, high school-aged Wednesday. So after getting expelled from her school for attacking Pugsley's bullies with piranhas, which is an excellent scene, by the way.
Excellent concept.
She gets sent to the Nevermore Academy for Outcasts. Now, why her and
that sounds like the Xavier School for Gifted Individuals.
I mean, actually, it's not too far, to be quite honest, because it's all it's filled with like sirens and werewolves and all sorts kind of things. So basically, it's kind of like that. But yeah, why they weren't there in the first place, I don't know, because apparently Morticia and Gomez went there. But anyway, we'll ignore that.
What I thought. It makes sense that she went to a normal high school.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it really is a show. It's about Wednesday. It's not about the Addams family, although we do meet the rest of the family very briefly. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Louis Guzman play Morticia and Gomez.
Louis Guzman's Gomez.
Yeah.
You need to see what he looks like as Gomez, because the hairpiece
That's
they've put on...
kind of genius.
Oh, wow.
No,
yeah.
the hairpiece they've put on him to make him look like Gomez is fucking hilarious.
He's normally got really curly hair, hasn't he?
No, he's normally got really short hair, but it's because he's got quite a large lower jaw, doesn't he, Louis Guzman?
Yes, he has.
And it's kind of like he's got this kind of like foppish hairpiece on, and it kind of looks wrong.
Oh yeah, he is somewhat potato shaped as well. So I mean, they do a pretty good job as Gomez and Morticia, but they don't come anywhere near Angelica Houston or Raul Julia.
No,
I mean,
who would?
It doesn't really matter because they're not really in it that much. The story's fine. I'd say it's probably aimed at maybe sort of younger teens. It doesn't really do anything particularly new in terms or exciting in terms of the story, but that's not to say it's not a sort of fun Scooby-Doo type adventure. So that's the kind of way I would describe it, just fun Scooby-Doo-ness. There is a little bit of high school drama going on amongst the kind of mystery story, and that's sort of lost me a little bit in the middle. And I think for me it was probably just a little bit long. I think it could have done with being 6 episodes rather than 8. But Jenna Ortega as Wednesday is brilliant. Like, she does such a good kind of modern day Wednesday, because that's the thing, it's set now, so people have got mobile phones and social media and stuff, even though Wednesday says she's not on it. And she does do kind of most of the heavy lifting among the younger cast. Unfortunately, 2 of her male kind of co-stars are kind of wet drips, I'd say, in terms of charisma. There's one girl that I think her name's Joy Sunday. I think that's her actual name in real life, who plays her dorm mate. And she's really good as well. She plays the complete opposite of Wednesday, like full of colours and blonde and happy and everything. So she's kind of cool. But I think it's the adult actors that kind of make it, with the exception of Jenna Ortega. The cast include Gwendolyn Christie as the head teacher. And Christina Ricci is in it as well. And
she would have to be.
She would have to be, but she's not got a cameo role. She plays like a fairly big role in it. So Tim Burton is associated with it. He directs 4 out of the 8 episodes, but he hasn't written it or produced it or anything like that. And I wouldn't say it's too like in your face kind of Tim Burton style. And I think probably to his credit, actually, he makes way for the other directors to shine through. So the other directors are Ganja Montiero and James Marshall. But I think, for people that were initially excited about his involvement, might be a little bit disappointed. But I don't think it kind of the series suffered because of it. I think it was nice that he did kind of pass the reins on to other people, because he does have a tendency to go overly Tim Burton, I think, sometimes. But I didn't get those vibes at all, really.
Tim Burton's been pretty diluted for the last kind of 10, 15 years anyway, though, hasn't he? It's like around about the time he was doing, what was that one that was adapted from a soap opera? With Johnny Depp in it.
Yeah, the vampire one. What was that called?
Shadows, Dark Shadows.
In the Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
Shadows.
Yeah, but by the time he was doing Dark Shadows, like the Tim Burton thing, I think had kind of worn off. I think people were just not excited by what he was doing.
Well, it became very Hot Topic, didn't it? Tim Burton sort of style stuff.
I mean, didn't they base that shop off him?
Basically, yeah. Essentially, yes. So yeah, there's not too much of that. There's one standout scene actually, which is it's a dance scene at this winter ball. Wednesday kind of cuts loose and tears up the dance floor.
Footloose?
Not Footloose, no, cut loose. Although
Wednesday Footloose.
She gets Footloose. But actually, I was thinking like the 90s Addams Family. Like the best scene in that film was the Mamushka. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So they're
on the first one.
They're traditionally good dancers. So I quite enjoyed that. But actually, the soundtrack itself is really good. Like, obviously, there's no surprises that Danny Elfman does the score, but there's some really nice scenes. Wednesday plays the cello, and she's kind of playing it on the balcony in the moonlight. And I think she's playing like a really haunting version of, I think it was Paint It Black by AC/DC. And I think she plays a really slow
Rolling Stones, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. And
Sorry.
That's embarrassing. And I think there was a Metallica one as well. But yeah, I think it's a Metallica one as well that she plays. It's awesome. Really cool. But yeah, I am a fan of the 90s Addams Family, and for me, you can't really beat it. But I did really enjoy this. I think certainly compared to any iterations of the Addams Family since the early 90s one. I mean, it's not perfect. It did lose me a little bit in the middle. But Jenna Ortega is so good as Wednesday, it can be forgiven.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying she's sensational.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what that actor has in store in her career. These are like the massive jumping off points that people need.
Yeah, I mean, she's already had a fairly good career so far because she's actually 20. She's not like.
Oh yeah, I know she's not a kid.
Yeah. So she's been in quite a few films already, but yeah, I think this will probably sort of propel her. But she's just so deadpan and everything, does all the sort of eye acting. Brilliant.
Awesome. Has that been your week then, mate?
Has.
Brilliant. That is all covered. Let's get on to the main topic. Last week, Stig dived into his shallow hat. His bowl. In my head, I had an image of one of them really cheap plastic England hats that you used to see. but it's actually a bowl. And at random, he picked my topic, which was, I don't get it. So all we're going to do, we're just going to have a discussion. If you're not a patron, this is the kind of discussions we have on Patreon episodes where we just freewheel and go with the flow. Things we don't get. Come on, guys. What do you get?
I don't get 4 women hating on Marvel, Disney, Dune, and Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that.
And Quality Street, might I add.
I know. I did cut that out of the public episode, though.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, sorry about that. I knew that was going to go straight to your heart.
Literally, it's like, let's talk about things we don't like on Smash That Glass. And it's just like, it was just instant. It was like,
it was rapid fire.
I hate Marvel. I hate Dune. I'm falling out of love with Disney. I don't feel like Harry Potter. I was like, oh.
No, actually, you paraphrased a bit there. She says, I don't like Dune. That's what she said. Dune.
as it's
Yeah,
pronounced.
but we know how she. I don't get how can you pronounce this dude. Dude.
I don't get that either.
Even I get that right.
Yeah.
June's a month.
Oh, yeah.
One of the main things when we started this topic, I want to be like, I don't get it. This is going to sound really awful, but I don't want it to be awful. I don't get horses and horse culture at all.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
The equine industry as a whole. Now, I understand back in the day, horses was a mode of transport and very essential for civilization to push further. Why are we still obsessed with horses? Why do people care? Why do you have to wear a certain thing to be on a horse? Why do you trust horses?
Why
I
do
don't
all
get
horsey
it.
people have ponytails?
Yeah.
All horse
Why
people look like horses.
Yeah, and they've all got them long boots on, and I don't get it. Come, someone explain to me about horses.
The stuff they wear is just essential for what they're wearing because of
What, tights?
No, it's just I think it's just to avoid any kind of uncomfortable feeling and possible chafing and
the
safety
hard wearing
and stuff.
elasticated like pants.
Yeah.
No, but there's an easier way to get over that uncomfortability. Don't get on a fucking horse.
I've ridden a horse once on our honeymoon.
I've been on a horse.
And
I bet you have.
She wanted to go horseback riding, and it was a good experience, but I was terrible at it. It was make sure that the horse is in charge. You show the horse is in charge, and I got on it, and the horse just did what the
But
fuck
did you
it
pat him on the
wanted.
head and go, "You're in charge"?
No,
mate"?
you've got to kind of rein it in and like show that you're in charge. So when it tries to fuck off and do its own thing, you're like, nope, do this. I couldn't do it. I just let the horse
I just
do what it wanted. It was so uncomfortable.
I get the culture. Obviously, when people are farmers and farmers need horses, understandable. It's much easier to herd things, animal. I don't know things.
What
but
do you
herd things
think
with a
horses
horse.
do on a farm? Do you think they herd sheep?
I don't know. No, like
Smoke
the
fags?
cowboys ride the horse and go, yeah, ha, 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 and they shout the sheep round, and the sheep go,
I mean, you
and they all
understand
run
when it's
round.
used in an industrial farming sense, but
I just don't get this. Like the more south I go in England, the more I go past equestrian shops, and I'm like, why is this such a big industry? Why is it such? What's the thing? I don't get it. Again, I'm not trying to be evil. I don't dislike horses.
You should talk to Pippa about it. She loves horses. I've said point.
Why?
Well, because I've talked to
I
the
like
podcast.
horses. Horses are beautiful creatures. They're just I don't get the riding and the racing of them.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't like the racing of racing horses. I find is cruel.
It is cruel.
I like horses in the respect that I think they're just big daft idiots. There's
Yeah, they seem drunk all the time.
Yeah, like there's a TikTok account I follow. It's this woman in the middle of America. She lives in some kind of dust bowl. She's got like about 8 horses, and they are the bane of her existence. They are
So why she got them?
torturous to her because they're just dickheads. But in the funniest way possible. Like one like in the middle of the night break into the barn and just start eating the hay that's just keeping for winter.
Like,
Just
I know
to,
she's
go
got
and retrieve
content
them.
out of this, but why she got him in the first place if it's just to her detriment?
Because she rescues them.
There's easier pets. Way easier pets.
There you go. She
Like a
rescues them, so
goldfish.
she looks after him from horrible situations. So that's
Yeah.
a good.
Okay, that's fine. That's understandable. That's all. That's all. All I said is I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. There's like a feigned domestication to them. Like they're whispering to each other. Let's make them think that we're domesticated, but we're not.
Fuck
They're
shit up,
feeding
boys.
us.
Don't try and
Come on,
punch one
horses.
anyway.
No,
No,
no.
certainly not.
Yeah, I don't get horses.
Newcastle does so much for the arts, for culture, for science, but you punch one fucking horse.
You'll never live it down.
What else we got? What else don't we get, guys? Come on.
I don't get soap operas. Fucking people who
Good
live
one.
their lives around fucking 3 hours of the most morose, miserable, bullshit, poorly acted, poorly written television ever to exist.
That's linked to one of mine, so I'll
Well-
jump on in a minute.
It's to the point this country has this obsession with the soap operas where the National Grid has a power pulse at 7:30 at night because people get up after EastEnders to put the fucking kettle on.
Yeah.
It's something that baffles me because everybody who I've ever talked to who watches the soaps hates them. They're always complaining how fucking miserable they are. I said, well, why are you fucking watching? Oh, I'm too invested at this point. Just stop.
You have,
Just like
you have
horse
to. You
people.
have to. I've been there. I've been there. And I just had to one day go cold turkey and just say no.
I did the
I'm
same
done.
thing.
I am done with this. I've stop, and I'm stopping, and I'm just not going back. And
Like,
I
so
had to do that.
this is intrinsically linked to one of mine, Gadget, and we can riff off this. It's to do with soaps. In all other media forms, people are saying, "Oh, don't spoil it for me, don't spoil it." For some reason, there's a scene of magazines that spoil soaps, and people buy these magazines to tell, "We've got to watch this episode because Sheila kills Mick in this episode." I'm like, "No way! Why? How do you know that?" Because I read it in a magazine. What the fuck? Why are you watching it then? I don't understand it. These TV Times magazines and stuff. Why do they still exist as well? There's a fucking electronic program guide on your fucking box.
It's that running gag about they're the most dangerous villages or towns or whatever it is in the UK with the amount of deaths
quickly look up how
that happen in them.
Wait, Emmerdale's had a total of 202 deaths. It's a street. It's a single fucking street in the middle of fucking Yorkshire.
It's always
farm,
Christmas
innit?
Day as well, isn't it? It's Christmas Day where people get murdered.
It's had
Every
a
single
plane
year.
land on it.
That's it.
There was a fucking plane crash like Lockerbie style in fucking.
So
Fucking hell. Soaps are shite.
Albert Square is just a square of houses, and 139 deaths ranging from natural causes to murder, disasters, accidents, and suicide. 139 deaths in that one little square.
So just hear me out, because I've never really watched EastEnders. I know of it, obviously, cultural and stuff. But with Albert Square is in London, right? Yeah, East End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does everyone look skint when they're living in London? They're all at pub. What do they do for jobs? They can't be in pub all day if they're owning them houses, because them houses must be worth about 2 million quid each.
They run a laundrette, a cafe, a market
enough.
stall,
News
the
agent.
pub, the news agent.
You can't
Second-hand
run a
cars.
market stall and live in London.
Second-hand car, the
can't.
club.
You can't. Club,
These
maybe,
are all
yeah.
the things. These are all things within like the radius of Albert Square that people do.
Just kind of back to the death thing. So the last 10 deaths in Emmerdale, because I found a list of them.
No.
So the last 10 on-screen deaths. Al Chapman was shot by somebody. Liv Dingle, injury sustained after being crushed under a caravan. Harriet Finch crashed and then was crushed by her quad bike that then exploded. Faith Dingle, suicide by a morphine overdose. Ben Tucker, bludgeoned with a wooden oar by Mina Julta. Andrea Tate head bashed against a wooden stage by Mina Julta. She's a fucking serial killer because she then also killed Leanna Kavanagh by pushing her off a bridge. Then Paul Ashdale sustained injuries from a barn explosion and died. Then D.I. Mark Malone, a policeman, was shot by Dawn Taylor. Graham Foster,
All this on a farm.
bludgeoned with a torch by P.S. Harris. And then Frank Clayton, in 2019, blast injury from an explosion after being viciously hurled into a van during a fire at the Sharma and Sharma factory caused by Amy and Kerry Wyatt. Why? Why would anybody want to live in this place? That's from 31st of October 2022 back to the 1st of August 2019. That's 3 years.
That's an epidemic.
It's murder capital of the UK, by the sounds of it. So it's similar. I'm literally looking up EastEnders now as well.
It's more murders there than fucking Midsummer.
Yeah.
You're focusing too much on the murders, though. The murderers is not the thing with EastEnders. It's the fact that people are living there and they're not working. How are they affording it? I just want to know. I want to know. It's impossible.
I'm
It's
surprised that
East London.
I'm surprised that Albert Square hasn't been gentrified yet. Isn't it like canonically like quite close to Shoreditch?
Yeah. This is the fucking thing. How are they doing it? Like, they're in the pub all day. Like, oh, God.
I mean, don't
we're
get me
skint.
started on Hollyoaks. Fucking.
Oh, I've never watched that.
Oh,
That's the one I had to go cold turkey on.
I
Is that
watched
the one where
Hollyoaks.
everyone was attractive in it?
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
Hollyoaks for a grand total of like 6
That's
weeks.
why Stig watched
when
it.
I was in college, mostly because I was quite madly in love with Gemma Murner. But it gets to the point where like I'm watching it and going, this makes no sense. These people are terrible.
Where's Hollyoaks based?
Chester?
Chester, yeah.
The
No,
Scousers
I got drawn in by something that Kate was watching. I got drawn into a storyline, and it was actually quite an interesting storyline. And then I carried on watching it, and then something really stupid happened, and this girl ended up getting killed because of it. And I went, do you know what? Fuck this show. 'Cause that's terrible writing. What she's done there is she could have saved all these other people being killed, saved herself from being killed. All she had to do was go to the police.
Yeah.
Like any sane, normal person would do. And she didn't.
The only good thing to
Because
come out
there's
of
love. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
the only good thing to come out of
It's not real.
the only good thing to have ever come out of the soaps is homeless Ian Beale. Because because that's a meme for the
I
ages.
love Ian
Back to
Bale.
Bale
I love
again.
Ian Bale. I've got an obsession with him this week. I've been looking into the Ian Bale universe.
Nothing left.
The Ian Bale extended universe, as it's
It was
called.
the shitty little beard that they put on him in the makeup.
Because I got told off by Kurt, because Kurt sees him as a legend. So I've been doing my due diligence and going into the Ian Bale universe. He's been through some shit.
Oh yeah.
He's been on EastEnders for 35 years. I'm amazed. I'm amazed the actor's still alive after.
He
all
said
that.
on this thing, he's lived in all but one of the houses in that square, and he's owned a chippy. Or what else did I read? He's done loads of stuff. He's like, and he's shagged half at Square. He's fucking. He's a baller, really, isn't he? Ian Bale's a baller.
One of his kids was a like a murderer or serial killer or something, and like one of his
Crazy,
kids
isn't
killed
it?
his other kids or something like that. Like this, it's just yeah.
Do
The
you know
guy,
with,
the guy's
um,
been through it.
You
I would
guys might
move
not know
away.
this. It's a question. It's a question I've got about soaps. You know, during the pandemic,
Yeah.
did they actually explain that in the soaps? They all wear masks.
It became a part of it because obviously they had to shut down the production of it. So like EastEnders went down to like once a week or something like that. So
But did they
had a
wear
bank
masks
of
in the
episodes.
show?
Yeah.
That's cool. You've got to accept that. That's cool.
They've got a history of doing it in a really happy because they do such volume and they have to have like 5 episodes a week for the whole year.
Yes, of course. Yeah, it never stops.
They have little sections where they can insert current events into it. So you will have a moment where 2 characters will go, "Oh God, did you hear the Queen died? Oh, that was really sad, that wasn't it?" And then that'll be all the discussion because the rest of the episode has already been recorded.
Yeah, like they'll be sat in a cafe and go, "God, England won last night, didn't they?" That kind of thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, when they insert those things, you'll see the character in the next scene and they've got a different haircut or something like that because it was recorded 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's still cool though. I kind of respect soaps for doing that now.
I have it's a respect for the soaps that do those live episodes because they must be
They do live episodes?
so hard to pull off.
he's
EastEnders and
like a
Coronation
play?
Street have done live episodes. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fuck off.
yep.
This-
Did they get the lines wrong ever?
Some of them
carry on.
have little cock-ups, but like they have it. You know, you can see the cameramen kind of walking in the background and stuff like that because it's hard to avoid that stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, understandable.
I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah. I think EastEnders usually do for like Children in Need or something like that. They usually have some at least once or twice a year, or big anniversary ones. They'll do a live episode.
Wow,
Yeah.
crazy. Right,
Christmas
Biggie,
ones
what don't you get apart from Netflix and Amazon Prime and stuff like that? Technology.
Pokemon.
Okay, go on.
I don't fucking get that at all. I've never played it.
Don't get it.
I can't believe there's a million different versions of it. Blue, red, emerald, gold, platinum, the list goes on. There's apparently, I made it, approximately 40 different versions of the game. The idea of it is based on insect collecting, which is made popular by nerds and serial killers. To complete
Fucking Xenos is going to be
complete-
coming for you.
to complete something called a Pokédex by using your Pokemon trainer to train, battle, and collect other creatures which have been randomly named by cats walking across keyboards or your router password. You play against other
guys.
You play against other poker pricks to win the league and become champion. Explored
I like
an
that.
anime series, films, trading card games. It's just mad. It's been criticised by some fundamentalist Christians over perceived occult and violent themes with the
Fundamental
concept of a
Christians
Pokemon
will oppose
evolution.
anything.
It's false idols. It's false idols. Don't worship them.
because it goes against the biblical creation account in Genesis.
Well, I mean, I've just posted this in the command center thing. How can you not love Fuecoco? He's adorable. He looks like the special child that you have to put a
Fuecoco?
helmet on all the time.
Oh, he's so
Fuecoco.
cute.
There's not a thought behind those eyes.
Oh, do you know who he looks like? He looks like the Bubble Bobble guy.
He does.
Is that
He
one of
does.
the new ones?
That's one of the new
I think
starters.
all the new Pokemons look fucking shit.
No, he looks beautiful. He's a good boy.
Exactly.
Have you seen the evolution of him though?
Oh, the evolution
No.
of him's terrible.
They're terrible. It's like I honestly don't know. I just don't think they've. I just think they just can't be arsed anymore.
Does Fuecoco go through puberty and it's really bad?
It's really bad when he hits
Yeah.
puberty.
Look at a picture of Pikachu. Look at you, motherfucker. What's wrong with you?
The thing is, Biggie, what you need to remember is that Pokemon
You're an old
make
bastard.
money. And
I know
it makes
it
a lot
does.
of money. That's why they keep making it.
Isn't it one of the biggest IPs in the world?
Something
As a
like
single
that.
IP.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
everything
problem
is going to make money, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
we just don't understand why.
The problem with Pokemon is though the Game Freak don't treat it properly. Like the games are increasingly
They've got no respect for it, have they?
Yeah, they're increasingly poorly made. They're full of bugs. I mean, some hilarious bugs in Violet and Scarlet, which have just.
And he
come
doesn't
out.
mean the creatures either. It just means
No.
bugs.
It's like the game. It's fucking raw. It needs to go back in the oven for 6 months. It's
Raw.
yeah. They're increasingly poorly made games.
You don't care.
Well,
I've not played a good one in a long time.
I saw a Evolution on a TikTok video, and someone's like, "Yeah, here we go." I've been waiting ages. Like they've been playing for ages, and it evolved, and all it did was get slightly bigger and have like an extra like fin or something on it. That's all they did with it. It's like I'd be fuming. Like you look at those Gen 1 Pokemons, every time they evolve, they look mint. They look different.
yeah.
What
I'll tell
came
you who
first, the
was
game or the
fuming.
show? I don't know. I'm just too old for it.
The trading card
game,
game
wasn't it?
came first.
Did it?
Then the trading
Game.
the video game was technically invented before. I'm sure I read it in the Ask Iwata thing. The video game came first as a kind of a prototype thing within Game Freak and within Nintendo. But then they realized that this could make a fucking lot of money. This could be a really popular thing. So they put the trading card game out first because trading cards at the time were very popular in
Massive.
Japan.
Yeah.
And then the video game came out, and then the anime came out. So it's kind of like, but it was all within a year of each other. So it's like it was
Yeah, really
compressed.
tight.
But over here, it was the game came out first, then the trading cards game, then the TV series because
Because the trading cards are still huge, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're ridiculous. Like, if you find like Gen 1 cards in good condition, I'm sure that it was like a Gen 1 Charizard shiny went for something like $100,000. It's like a ridiculous
Fuck
amount of money
off.
for
I
it.
wish I'd have kept those
God.
ones I found in a classroom once now, rather than just throwing them out the window.
Oh,
Literally found.
Well,
something
in
that's like,
2012,
nerds, I threw them out the window, and then I saw these little all these nerds like scrabbling them at them in the playground.
Dude, what's funny about this is he doesn't understand. He doesn't get Pokemon, but imagine if he went down the deep rabbit hole of like Yu-Gi-Oh and other stuff that spawned off it. That'd make your head fucking spin. That big, mate.
Digimon.
Yeah, Biggie, what's your opinion on Digimon?
it's same, mate. I haven't got a clue. I mean, in 2012, even PETA criticised the concept of Pokemon as supporting cruelty to animals.
Don't you be bringing up Peter in any form of agreement here.
I'm telling you, they objected to the fact that it was the concept of capturing animals and forcing them to fight, to cockfights, dogfighting rings and circuses.
Oh,
Events
The
frequently
animals like
criticised
it.
for
The Pokemon like
cruelty
it,
to
mate. They
animals.
like it.
They're not
have you seen
real.
have you seen a Pokemon fight? They fucking love it.
They love it.
Proper raggy little bastards.
And they don't
They
die
They
either. They're
reaffirmed,
faint.
they
They're faint with
reaffirmed
excitement.
their
Just get knocked
objection. What?
But the Pokemon just get knocked out. It's fine.
Yeah, they don't die. They can't kill a
Are we saying
Pokemon.
Candy?
They're immortal.
Asapel and I almost got arrested and moved on by police by playing Pokemon Go because in where we live there's one area that has like 3 of the little spinny things. I can't remember what they're called. They're not the gyms, but you could like just spawn points or
Poke
whatever.
Centers.
Poker centers, yeah. And
Why do I know this?
there was probably
I
about
don't even know what
20
she's
cars.
fucking talking about.
There's probably about 20 cars all parked up on double yellow lines to try and because it was like the height of Pokemon Go season.
Oh,
And,
Pokemon Go.
No, and we saw the police kind of like drive past, and we were just in Asapel's car, and she's like, "Right, if the police say anything, just say you're pregnant and you're being sick." So sure enough, they came back round, they cruised past, they're like, "Come on, guys, you have to go. I know you're playing Pokemon. It's time to move." And it was us and a bunch of like 17, 18-year-olds in their little Vauxhall Novas with different coloured doors and everything. Just kind of slunk away.
Well, in the first
Right.
2 days of release of Pokemon Go, safety concerns were raised amongst players. Multiple people have suffered minor injuries falling whilst playing the game due to being distracted. And apparently people in Bosnia were warned to stay out of minefields left over from the
God.
war.
Wow. Let's move on from Pokemon. I kind of understand what Biggie's saying, though. I get it, but I don't get it, if you know what I mean. But, Candy, what don't you get?
Oh, which one should I do? Oh, I can't do that one to start off with. That one's too serious.
Oh, she's got a list.
Yeah, I do.
I've got a list as well.
I'm going
I
to
do
start
too.
with collecting overpriced ugly trainers, like Yeezys or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
I don't
fuck
get that either.
shit.
Like they're
I
about
buy one
£3
pair of
grand.
trainers a year, me.
Yeah, but the thing, I mean, people aren't surely buying these shoes to wear, though, are they? They're just buying them to display.
Yeah.
I can. Don't get me wrong. I
to
can
display, they
understand.
keep them in their boxes.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought they just flip them, don't they, for more money?
Some do.
Yeah, but then the person at the other end is still buying them.
And flipping them. It's just an industry,
But then
innit?
there's
It's
still
weird.
somebody at the end of that. Like, I don't
get it either. It's fucking
at all.
weird.
Like, I get, and I understand collecting things that you enjoy.
Because
Like-
you do.
I understand collecting guitars. There's a reason to collect guitars.
Souls.
I understand action figures, books, all perfectly good. But trainers to just look at, or even not look at.
Yeah, it's like buying like power drills and not using them.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
fucking love power drills, me. Just not going to use it though.
The thing is, right, I fucking love sneakerheads because they are the most delusional bastards on this planet. There is a shop in Newcastle.
What do you mean sneakerheads? What's that?
That's what they call themselves, sneakerheads.
Fuck off.
There's a shop in Newcastle. It's one of the kind of
Trainers.
bougie outlet ones. And they do like the midnight launches for Yeezys and these limited edition trainers and sneakers and shit. And these
What
people,
are Yeezers? What are them? What are them?
they're Kanye West's ones that no longer exist because he got very anti-Semitic.
Yeah, fuck him. Let me have a look at him. How do you spell it?
Yeezy.
Don't even look nice either.
No, they look ugly. But
they're,
anyway,
they're always, without fail, the ugliest trainers you will ever see.
yeah. There's
They're
a shop.
fucking gross.
The shop in Newcastle. People
What are them?
people will camp out for a week when they think there's a drop of these new sneakers.
Oh, you can't see it. What the fuck is that?
Looks like a
It looks like something from Krull.
Yeah,
It's like a cruise
Oodles,
ship.
Google the price of them.
It's basically what happens when Amazon let Kanye West go full Homer designing the car mode.
Yeah,
Them ones I've
yeah.
them ones I've just shown you are going for $7,000.
Let's say Amazon, Adidas.
Adidas, yeah. Well, the thing is, and the best thing, without getting too much into the horrible shit that Kanye West was doing, when he lost that deal with Adidas, this is the funniest thing in the world. Kanye West had a bad contract with it. He made millions from those shoes. Adidas made a hell of a lot more. But Adidas own the brand, own the designs, own everything that they've done. Kanye West has no claim on anything. All Adidas are going to do is take the name Yeezys off and just keep releasing those designs that he did, and they'll make hundreds of millions off that without having to pay him anything. It's fucking hilarious.
I get a pair Adidas Sambas every January, and they'll last me till the next January, and that
Or until
or
you
they
lose
only-
one of them on a roof.
Yeah. Or I've got my limited edition Modern Escapism Adidas as well, haven't I?
Yeah.
They were
Nice.
awesome.
I haven't
I
shown
get
them,
it,
but
Kanye.
they're
But
cool.
I get that you don't get it. That's what I mean. I don't get them.
I don't
But
get it.
It's the ones where they don't open them out the box.
Well, they keep like a very specific tag on it, like the Air Jordans. They have this plastic tag on them. They have to keep on.
Keep them in the
If
box.
they don't open
Like,
the box, do they know they're even there?
you're not even displaying them.
Schrodinger's
You're
shoe.
looking at
His
a box
trainers.
in a cupboard. Like,
Actually,
Like-
speaking of tags and everything, it's people that get those the caps. I can't remember what they're called. The ones with the flat peaks, and they always have
Snapbacks.
the snapbacks. That's right.
You're so
And they
fucking
always keep-
trendy, you Gadget. You surprise me sometimes.
Just
You're
a
so trendy
font for
little boy.
useless information
Down
of
with
what
the
things
kids.
are called.
But they'll always leave the label on the cap.
Yeah.
Why? It's the first thing I rag it off with my teeth.
yeah.
Label's gone.
In that same sense as well, like it's not the collecting of the pop figureheads. I'm pointing at the one I've got above me right now
Yeah.
for some reason. It's it has to stay in the box. And people are going, no, don't take out the box. It's worth more in the box. If I'm collecting it, I'm not selling it.
Yeah, my Geralt's out of the box.
I bought
He's
one to
out of the box.
display. Mine,
Not
both
to
of mine
mention,
are
they're
out the
so
box.
mass-produced. They will barely any of them will have any value in 10 years.
Yeah, unless it's like those
Good.
really limited editions where there's only like 100 that have been made or something.
I've got one of them still in the box.
The rest of them, that makes sense. If that's a real limited edition.
We can pop ourselves, can't we? What is that? I can't see.
Shiny Thanos.
Thanos, yeah.
If it's like mine that I've got a Spider-Man and a I forgot his name's blanking now.
What does it look like?
The rock guy from Thor. Korg.
Cog.
Yeah, I've got Korg and a Spider-Man. That's
Piss
it.
off, Ghost.
Yeah, they're just
The
Out the
thing
box.
is as well,
On my
the
shelf.
whole
I've got 7 up there, all out their box.
yeah.
the whole keeping them
Get
box
back
thing
in the box.
is bullshit. Because I used to have loads of them, and I ended up selling them all. Just kind of, I needed the space. I had them all out the box, like on display, and I sold them. And the total of me selling them, I made a profit on.
Just weird, isn't it?
Mm.
Let's move on. I want to talk about I don't get 0% Greek yogurt. I don't get it. What is
Why?
it?
It's
Is it what's 0%? Has it got no yogurt in it?
No fat.
No fat.
Oh, right.
That was easy to explain.
That's perfect.
Next, right.
That's perfect. No, that's good. That's what I wanted.
Here that Oodles has already touched on in this episode.
Okay.
And I don't get the hate for Chris Pratt.
Oh,
Genuinely don't get the hate. I don't. Outside of maybe him being a bit weird with some religious stuff, which most of it's been debunked as well. The only bad thing I could see that he really did was he split up with Anna Faris. That went a bit right. But in terms of his career and the films and stuff he's been in, why does everyone seem to think he's in everything? He's done since Guardians. He's done less than 2 films a year.
It's just a running joke, isn't it?
He seems to be getting into like the big franchises. I think that's the thing. So it's like there's this perception that he's everywhere.
Yeah, but it's not though. Like, and I just don't get that. I think he's perfectly fine. I think his voice acting work. I'm yet to know. Did I think that he's the perfect person to play Mario? Not really, but I prefer them actually doing that than. I'll be honest. I don't want a Charles Martinet wahoo for 2 hours.
No, nobody does.
Kind of want it for the memes.
But I don't get it. His other voice work in the Lego Movie and Onward was really good. He's brilliant as Peter Quill. When you made a joke about there's less Chris Pratt in it,
You're fuming.
He's one of the best things in Guardians. Everyone loved him because of his portrayal of Peter Quill. That's what brought him to the forefront. Like he's really good as Peter Quill. He shows a lot of comedy and a lot of.
Do you like him in Jurassic World?
He's probably the best things in him, even though the diminishing
That's actually
returns.
that's not a bad shout. He probably is the best thing in him.
In the first one,
about it.
in the first one, he definitely is, and then it's just diminishing returns all around in the second two.
Yeah,
so
of course
not
it
really
is, yeah.
arse. It's all arse.
I think it's a running joke, isn't it? Because of his personal life, he had some hiccups. Nothing like
He's a bit bland
career
in some of
destroying.
the other films. Like,
nothing career destroying. It's just
bit,
become a joke.
But yeah, I just everyone's like, "Oh, fuck Chris Pratt." I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Because they want to.
I just don't think he's that good. I don't like him as Peter Quill either, but that's just me.
I do.
hate
No,
him.
I think he's very good.
He's great as Andy Dwyer.
Yeah, he's great as Andy.
Yeah,
I think the only thing
he's good as Andy.
The only thing I've actively disliked him in was probably Passengers, but that's probably more the character than what he played.
More than him. The
Because
character,
the character was a
fucking
reprehensible cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him being a good actor, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I'll admit, like he's in, what's that? Tomorrow War or whatever. Bland as fuck. The whole film was bland. Like, but in general, like it's the voice work he's done, and I really like him in Guardians. I liked him as Andy Dwyer. I just think
he's very everyman, and I just find him a bit dull. He's a better actor than me.
I just think that it's one of those ones where everyone jumps on it and just goes, "Oh yeah, fuck that guy." It's like,
of course.
He's
me trying to be trendy, knowing I mean.
Becoming the Nickelback of actors.
I think
Nickelback is shite though.
See, there's another one.
I think
Nickelback is exaggerated.
I would rather see Chris Pratt try something that kind of tests him, because he's running
like a drama.
He's running the risk of just Ryan Reynolds in it and just playing the same rule over and over again.
I don't think he does. His Star-Lord is completely different to his character in Passengers and the Tomorrow World. His voice acting works completely different, like the characters he plays in those.
I think he's better as a comedic actor.
In my opinion, they're all different. They're all very different. It's just
he's a better comedic actor than serious.
So yeah,
plays his strengths in it.
I watched that Guardians thing, and some moments in that, and it's some really good acting and some really like proper like emotional bits in it. Not loads because he's not in it loads, but I just thought he does that in both Guardians films really well, and Infinity War. And I was like, yeah, I don't get it.
Fair enough.
He's joined the fan.
He's one of the best things in Parks and Recreation, to be honest.
Of course he is.
His outtakes,
what else we got?
His outtakes are the best things in Parks and Rec. I still can't get over one, the Kim Kardashian thing, but also when he chucks the briefcase over and smashes the light switch.
Oh,
one of the funniest things in the world.
I know I just went, but you just mentioned Kim Kardashian, and it's just gone on to one of my other ones.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like natural flow, mate.
The Kardashians,
don't get them.
I don't know what they are. I mean, I know what they are. I know they're humans, but I don't.
30% plastic.
I mean, where did they start? How did they start? What happened?
The sex tape. It was King K's
What,
sex
they-
tape, wasn't it, that launched it?
Oh, just
Yeah.
her. I thought you meant they were all in a sex tape.
No,
But yeah, I don't think.
they were already
That's a
pretty
different
rich.
show.
They were in high society.
Rich dads.
Isn't
New
it?
York
Isn't
and-
it? O.J. Simpson's lawyer, something linked to him. or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Kim Kardashian's dad.
Come in with the
was
Kardashians.
OJ's lawyer.
Right.
Right.
So that's
So-
how they got big, then, isn't it?
It isn't the
How they got
concept
rich.
of a socialite and rich socialites and like, you know, having rich parents and being like, I get that. It's not that.
Yep.
It's the show, the Kardashians, and the obsession with watching overprivileged, super rich people moan about the most mundane things and act as though somebody taking their piece of bread is world ending and starting huge fuck off family fights over it because one sister dared to eat a piece of bread from the other sister's bread supply.
Yeah, but
and that is a
Stig,
real
it's
thing.
probably not
That
real.
that isn't me making it up. That is them actually arguing. It's not. That's what they're like.
It's probably
Wouldn't that
fake.
be nice, though, if that was your biggest problem in the world, is just
Yeah.
somebody had taken your bread?
But that's what I don't get. Like it's,
I once thumped my brother for nicking a fish finger.
yeah, but
Really
you
hard
probably
on
nicked
the
off
arm.
off your plate.
He did. Awful.
They probably don't even know what a fish finger is.
That's true.
It's not. It's just
Yeah.
I don't get the obsession of watching them.
I don't.
I think
I've never
probably
watched them.
because it's so removed from most people's lives that are watching it. You know, it's just
It's
it might as well
glamorous.
just be
It's
fiction.
slick. It's like showing rich. It's showing wealth in a way that's very full of avarice and
I honestly couldn't pick them out in a crowd.
yeah,
Genuinely.
because it would be the crowd going fucking mental for them.
In isolation, I mean, like which one's
could
which? And
pick
I mean,
out
I know
Kim.
they're all dark-haired, beautiful
They're-
people, but
They're not
I don't
beautiful.
know. I don't know which one's which. That's what I'm saying.
They're also terrible for the world.
Are they?
Well,
What, environmentally?
they take private flights that last 10 minutes
Oh,
to go from kind of like 60 miles up the road in California.
that's
Like
shite.
an hour's drive.
That's shite.
Because they're so unspeakably wealthy. And it's disgusting. I fucking hate them.
Mm.
Melt them down.
I don't like rich people in general.
Rich people
yeah.
are rich people. They get rich. It's just the concept of being entertained by watching somebody splash their money and have
I always thought they were fake, them shows.
problems over the most mundane shit.
They're engineered, those shows.
Not
They're-
scripted.
I think
but-
some of the fights are real though. Like, there's no way that they're good enough actors to pull those fights off.
Yeah,
but
that's how you see the difference in it.
Situations are engineered. It's the same with like all those Bravo things, like fucking Real Housewives of whatever fucking state they're in at any time. You know, it's all
Sri Lanka.
they're all really arguing with each other, but it's like the producers will say, you know, she said this to you, do that, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
all
it's
kind of-
nudging forward, isn't it? Like,
Just imagine
we'll
one of the
go to
producers
this
running and going,
restaurant.
taking a piece of bread and going, watch this.
Yeah, man.
Probably
Yeah,
literally
man.
what happened. I tell you,
Go on.
I tell you what I don't get.
Go on.
And this one goes to your heart, Oodles, because I know you do this a fair bit. Mobile
Wank.
gaming, don't get it.
Well, I do it
Yeah,
a
I don't
lot.
get it.
Why do you want to play games on your phone? Or more precisely, why do you want to play Raid Shadow Legends? And I'm going to give a very specific example of this because you mentioned it before, Oodles. My mother
As a
plays
joke.
Raid
I was
Shadow.
going to say, doesn't your mum play this?
My mum plays Raid Shadow Legends.
She's
Well-
best in world.
She's really high up. When she tells me about it, though, like she will say, "Oh, well, you know, you just set
She's
it
the
on
raid
auto,
queen.
you just set it on auto battle and it goes off and grinds it. So the game plays itself for you." Like, well, yeah, but you got to be online at a certain time to do it. And how do you do that? So what happens is, like, my parents will like be sitting like watching a film on an evening, and then they have to pause the film because my mother says, "Right, it's 9 o'clock. I've got to do like a 15-minute raid thing to get this like specific reward." So my dad's
a
having to
badass.
watch films segmented because my mother has to
don't
play
get
Raid
that.
Shadow Legends for 15 minutes on a night.
I don't get that aspect of mobile gaming, like where you're not actually playing it. But having a game of threes or Marvel Snap, they're proper games, man.
I've never gotten on with gaming. But I don't have a thing against mobile gaming per se. It's just I don't get why you would want to play a game on your phone.
It's because you don't commute anywhere.
No,
And
even
if
when
you do-
even
and
when I
you
used to
guys that do commute, you drive. I'm on a bus, so quick game of Snap.
Even when I used to commute on the train to work, I used to just have a fucking book on the Kindle app. I would just be reading.
I've also
on the
got
train.
a fucked up brain, and I need interaction
dopamine, don't
constantly.
Mm.
Yeah,
got-
I need it.
That
got
sweet
two-
serotonin.
I've got two mobile games. That's it. One is Among Us and one is 2048. And Among Us is just for the kids, really.
I mean, 2048. I used to play that back in the day, but I don't like. I'm looking.
I
on my
hardly
phone,
ever play it.
I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have a single game on my phone. I've got like 200 apps on my phone, and not a single one's a game.
So what are these 200 apps doing?
Nothing.
I mean,
they sit there when you need them.
They're just there when I need them.
Mm-hmm. Not like my games. I get it though.
The
I get it.
Scum VM app, which has got all the classic point-and-click adventures on it.
And also going one further into it, people who not only play the mobile games and play the mobile games religiously, but the people who are the whales for the mobile games, the people who put the money
Rich people again.
They don't necessarily have to be rich; they just have to be addicted enough.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's just evil in itself, isn't it? That's just. There's no difference to me to someone playing Call of Duty on the phone and on their Xbox. It's a bit difficult on your phone.
Why would you want to play Call of Duty on your phone, though?
I don't.
Oh, no, I don't get that.
But people do. It's same. They might not have accessibility to that kind of thing.
I get that, but why would you want to play Fortnite on a touchscreen?
Some people do. Like, kids are fucking brutal at it. They're brilliant.
Yeah, but kids are idiots.
They are. I don't get them.
Speaking of gaming,
oh, here we go.
I want to quickly jump in. I don't get Destiny 2 anymore.
I don't think Destiny 2 players get Destiny 2 anymore.
Nobody does.
To start with.
I don't know where to begin with that game anymore.
That was the most played game on my PlayStation 4, that.
I bought the original.
I think Destiny 2's at a point if you haven't been playing it for the last 4 years, you've got no chance of getting into it.
Why is it still Destiny 2? Why is it not Destiny 3? When's that coming out?
Well, that's the thing.
I think Destiny 2 is just the platform edition. Now.
Restart.
Yeah, I bought the original edition, whatever that was called, and made it as far as the Forsaken DLC, which I think was season 3 or 4, whatever it was. It's now seasons. But I dropped off it because it became too grindy and quite overwhelming. And then it went free to play, but then they still launched expansion after expansion.
We didn't get his money back.
And then they started saying they're removing certain areas from the game. I reinstalled it when I got my PS5, and now I played it just to see what it was like and if it,
is there a PS5 version of it?
Stuff.
Yeah. Next gen versions are out.
And you get greeted by message after message after message pops up on the screen trying to explain you can do this and you can do that. I don't even know what pack I need anymore. There's just so many additions that you can purchase on the store. It doesn't tell you what's what has what did have, and what's been removed. It's just a mess. I went into the tower. I didn't know where to begin. And like you say, I wouldn't know what... If you were a newcomer and someone says, oh, we're playing Destiny 2, come and play and join. How is any of it explained to you when you load that game up? I just don't understand what that is anymore.
It's not very welcoming to newcomers.
Yeah, the Destiny thing's really annoying because what happened to me was I didn't know that they were going to destroy a whole planet, so I bought the DLC, and then a week or two later, they destroyed a whole planet, and I hadn't played it.
Shouldn't be allowed.
It's mad, isn't it?
That shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
There's got to be some laws against it, but then again, it's digital content again, isn't it? Where nothing's secure forever.
They own the rights.
Yeah, nothing's secure.
Never bothered with it after that. I was like, fuck it, can't be asked.
I've also, my last one, why can't people just be on time? I don't get it. Like, my whole existence
Things happen. Shit happens.
Does it, though? Like,
yeah.
I'm
kids
the only
not going
person...
to sleep when you're trying to record a Scott Sheep special.
But I'm the only person in my work team.
Or when there's football on with a Scotch Sheep special and you start late.
That wasn't genuinely anything to do with football at all.
No. I'm talking about Oodles here, who did not want to start until he had the England result.
I were there though, weren't I? I were tardy. I were there. But what I'm saying is, I'm the only one in my workforce that doesn't drive. Yeah, I'm the first one there every time.
Yeah,
I'm
because
always
you're on
on
a
time.
timetable.
Yeah, the drivers. Why did they set off at the last minute?
Because I know that I work. My time is anywhere between 20 and 25 minutes, depending on traffic. Sometimes I've set off half an hour before and I get stuck behind a tractor. That's not anything to do with me. I could set off in time and I'm stuck behind a tractor doing 10 miles an hour.
There's also a weird thing that I remember this when I used to commute. I used to have quite a long commute from kind of County Durham to the north end of Newcastle.
That's a trek.
It was only about like 10 miles in total, but because it was like rush hour traffic, it would take an hour. But the thing is, I remember that there was a time. So I had to leave the house at 7:30 every morning to get to work on time ish.
Yeah.
If I left at 7:25 to 8, I would get to work 10 minutes late. But if I left at 7:20, I would get to work 20 minutes late because there's kind of a weird thing where everyone has their pattern for getting into and out of traffic. And bus routes tend not to be too affected by it because bus routes obviously have bus lanes. And tend to be kept separate from main traffic. But when you're sat on the motorway in a queue of traffic, sometimes leaving earlier makes you later. And it's this weird, annoying kind of time dilation of traffic. And it
but I don't just I get that. I get
work
that,
from
obviously.
home now.
There's way more cars on the road than buses, but I'm not even just talking about commute. Like, if I'll set it, lads, like, we'll meet at train station, we'll go on day session leads. Why am I always first one there and they're always late?
Because you're an alcoholic. But some people are time blind. Like Pip has ADHD, like you do, and she is perpetually time blind. Not that she, not that
opposite to me.
Yeah, not that she tries to do, not that she's deliberately faffing or something like that, but because of the way her particular brand of ADHD works,
she's not focusing.
No, she's focused on too many things.
Yeah,
so it's like something pops in her head, she has to deal with it, and it's come to the point now where, like, I mean, she gets very frustrated by it, and I feel bad for it. So we kind of say, if we have to be somewhere, if we're going to see a film, the film starts at 8:30. It's 15-minute drive from here to the cinema. I tell Pip we need to leave at 8. Pip will invariably be late for 8, but be on time for 8:15, so we get there on time.
Do you know what I do? I do the exact like me and my wife. She takes ages, so I lie to her. She'll go, "When's the bus?" And I'll go, "Oh, it's at 8:30." It's not 8:30. It's an hour.
The thing is,
do you know what I mean? But when you lie to her,
when you're with someone who has ADHD like that, and it kind of affects their timekeeping, or not necessarily their timekeeping, but their perception of time, because like Pip can like sit and work for 8 hours, and she thinks, "Oh, I've been sat here for a couple of hours. I'll go get up," and she looks at the time, and she's like, "It's like the middle of the fucking night,"
Yeah.
When you're partnered with someone like that, you have to spend a lot of time effectively managing it, but in a way that is not accusing, because it's not her fault that happens. Like, she can't help it. And like, if I get pissed off with her for being late, it doesn't help anybody, because she
Do you
can't
reckon
help
that's
it.
just my like extreme focus? Then I'm just like focused on the time. Like,
Well, yeah, because you're hyper focused on the time because you don't like to be late.
I think I'm going to say that from now on. Time blind. I'm terrible with like just looking at it and going, "I've got time. I've got time."
Really?
Some
I'd
people
love
are
to
like-
kind of be that
Not when I'm
lackadaisical.
like commuting to work. Not really with work, but with other things, like going to pick Amelia up from gymnastics. It's like, it's only 5 minutes. It's literally like 2-minute drive down the road. Yeah, I've got time. And then inevitably you get there and it's right on this time. Or like,
Yeah, I've done that a lot.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what it is. I just,
Unfortunately, though, like
I hate being late for the podcast.
sometimes also
That was
I need to
traffic,
poo
man.
just before we
Yeah.
go. So, yeah, it's must.
No, but like,
Performance
like my daughter's inherited my like. I don't like to use the word anxiety because I don't get anxious because I'm always tardy. But if someone picks her up from school, a few minutes later she starts panicking and worrying, and like I get like that. I like if someone's late, I'm like, I'm looking at my phone, or like if like when we get ready for this podcast, I'm getting ready at about 20 past. I've got my laptop on. I'm ready. I can just click a button and I'm there.
Yeah.
If no
you
one's
did that
popping
the
up,
Scorched Sheep night. That was really funny with the your
Yeah.
message for Scorched Sheep. You're like, "What time are we starting?"
yeah,
Hello?
yeah, no one were
Everyone?
answering. But you guys, I know you guys were doing your,
Scroll
like
up.
pre-pod poos and stuff like that, but I'd done that hours ago. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
we just remembered. It's your terrible memory.
I have got a terrible
We
memory.
had talked about it the week before. You just don't scroll up.
No,
Off.
I ain't got time. I'm too
See, I
busy.
don't like being early either, and I don't like when people are early for seeing me. Like 10
Why?
minutes is fine. Anything earlier than that, I hate it because I'm not ready. And I would rather, say I was going to an appointment, I would rather be an hour early and sit in the car for 55 minutes and then go to my appointment rather than be
50
like 20
I-
minutes.
Why would you
late.
just get out 5 minutes before? Why wouldn't you get out 15 minutes before and sit in the waiting room?
I do like getting somewhere early and having that bit of time in the car just to have a vape or
To
listen to
think.
your podcast.
Yeah, exactly. You get settled, and then you can like build your mind up to whatever situation you're about to put yourself in, and then
When
you
I
can
used to
go in.
work, I used to work in the offices in town. I used to get there before the building warden were there, and he's like, "Why are you always here before me?" I'm like, "Oh, I've got to be." Like, give me your keys. I'll do it. I'll open up tomorrow for you. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I don't know why, and I don't get why people are late, and it infuriates me. And I understand there's always a reason.
Some people can't help it. Some people are bone idle. Some people just
Yeah, that's
lose
probably
track.
it. I think I've just got bone idle mates.
That's probably more like, or you've got an alcohol dependency problem. You're too excited to get to the pub.
I've got that. Yeah, I've got that. But I'll drink while I'm walking.
Fair enough.
I'm always on it. I love a walking beer. You know that. Walking beers are the best beers.
Speaking of mates in the pub, I'll give you my last one because I've only got one more last one, and it's related to mates in the pub kind of thing. But no, the thing I don't get is those people who make football their entire personality. Now, I've talked about my dislike for football before. I'm not talking.
Yes,
but
you don't like the sport.
Yeah, it's more I just don't care about it. But what I really dislike is the people who base their entire happiness off football.
Yeah, like the mood can change.
Yeah, the mood can change. I have seen people
change you, mate. It can change you.
No, I've seen people who will like come into work like the day after whatever football game. Oh, don't talk to us. We lost last night. I'm like, you're not over it. It's like it's footy game, mate.
Depends what game it is. Depends what game it was.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I know what it is. It's because in that moment, in that game, that is all you're focused on. That's all you care about. And then when the bubble bursts, how do you get rid of that? It's like anti-adrenaline, isn't it? It's the opposite of whatever adrenaline is.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I get rid of it? Usually for me, it's booze, but someone else, and I am not defending someone punching somebody for it, but that's their out, isn't it? That's how they do it.
It's like, I mean, you know, we joke about the horse punching thing in Newcastle. That happened because Newcastle lost to Sunderland.
Yeah, which is that's a good enough reason to punch a horse.
Well, the thing is, that the horse punching wasn't it was like nearly a riot in Newcastle. It was the first time Sunderland had beaten Newcastle for quite a long time.
Didn't a lot of people get truncheon to fucking smithereens and stuff?
And it was the Newcastle fans behaving badly. Like it wasn't even like a core group of like the away supporters coming in and like riving people up. And it was just, but
you'll like how you'd like actually, Gadget, if you could be like a fly on the wall and me and my mates in pub and watching football, we sit there laughing at the pub pundits that we call them, people that think they're experts.
I've seen those people.
I'd have played him. Would you? When you were a professional manager, would you have played them? Would you have done it?
Oh yeah,
we love the pub pundits.
I've witnessed that because when I was younger, I used to go to the football with my mate, and just the amount of people sat in the stands and go, "Oh, why is he putting him out? Oh, that was a bad decision from the ref."
Because he's the fucking expert. That's why. He didn't go to plan.
I don't know. It's choice words.
This is. He's a pub pundit.
Mr. Southgate. I'm not using certain players this week.
He's got a plan. Might not be a good one. By
not playing the most informed player in his team. Wanker. Anyway, I could have linked onto it. I could have linked onto a sports one there, but I can't be bothered with that. I'm going for you, Candy. I'm sorry.
Coming at you. Ooh. Coming straight at you.
People who actually enjoy bad films, I don't get it. Like, there is objectively disliking a film because you can't connect with it, and subjectively, some people think it's good, some people think it's bad. But there are objectively terrible films, like the ones you made,
like The Room,
that you enjoy, and why waste your time?
Because I think it's the disbelief of just how terrible it is. Like it's always.
How can you disbelieve it when you can see it?
Because when I watch these terrible films, I'm normally with a couple of cocktails in, and I'm with a group of friends. And we'll deliberately try and find something that looks terrible. And it's the constant, the way they can out-terrible themselves is what's the entertaining part.
See, I kind of get that you're...
See, that's the difference, because you're with friends.
Yeah, you're with friends, you're laughing about it, you're having a good time, like, you've chosen that. But
I watched it on toilet on my phone.
There are people who who love these kind of films. Like, they love the Sharknadoes and those terrible, janky horrors. And it's like...
Yeah.
Why? Like, just...
I'm with you, mate. I don't understand it one bit.
Good. I mean, you do watch good stuff as well, though, so it's fine. But there are people who
there's so much quality, isn't there? Why?
I just
waste little bit of time with
the actors.
She didn't like Doom.
The actors are 99%, 100% of the time terrible.
Maybe it's to feel better about yourself.
Maybe at
least I didn't make this film.
You see, when it comes to like objectively terrible films, I like watching like YouTube people like talk about them. Because I don't want to watch Velocipasta, but I'll watch Chris Stuckman laughing about it, you know?
Yeah, because that's more entertaining because Chris Stuckman's good.
Yeah.
That's the difference, mate.
I will never ever in my life watch a Neil Breen film, but watching weird movies with Mark talk about it. Brilliant. because that lad,
Exactly.
he's aged himself watching those films.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
While we're poking at candy, I have got one sneaky, one more in.
Skyrim.
People that don't eat crusts.
Oh no!
Like
Don't
crusts
come
on
back to
pizza.
that again. Come on.
Crusts on bread. I just don't eat
understand
crusts
how
in
you don't-
general.
I don't understand how
It's
you don't
food.
understand.
It's fucking food.
don't
It's
like
the
wasting
fucking
food.
handle.
They taste nice.
There's people out there that can't even get a pizza crust, and you're throwing it away.
I seen a thing. I seen a thing on TikTok today, which I'm pretty sure upset all of Italy. But it was an American food hack kind of thing.
Oh,
and they
no,
got one of those
here we
kind
go.
of
I hate them so much.
big American style pizzas and a hot dog. And what they did was they pulled off the stuffed crust from the pizza, then put the hot dog on the remaining bit of pizza, rolled the pizza around the hot dog,
no.
and then put the stuffed crust in the hot dog bun, and then ate them separately.
I mean, the
There you
stuffed
go.
crust probably.
I wonder why
offends
I've got the
Italy anyway.
diabetes.
All right. Just one last one to end this. Scar Trumpet Wank Fest. Don't like it.
Yeah,
Don't get
hate it. I agree there.
I don't get
Don't
ska
get why
music.
people make ska like it's so just like the second coming of music.
Yeah, I don't get ska music either.
Don't get it.
I'm
I like
not bothered
ska.
about it.
Ska's funny. Ska's fun. It just
No.
makes me feel happy inside.
I don't want funny music. I want sexy music. I
What,
want
like Lorna Shaw?
sexy, that's fucking sexy.
I know I'm going to upset some people by saying that, but fuck it.
You're brave, mate. I think you're brave. You're a brave man, and I appreciate it. Quick fire.
Right.
Candy and Biggie. Go.
We almost touched on it a second ago, but American fast food and American candy. Why are people obsessed with going to these American candy?
It's
shops?
terrible.
American candy is awful.
Money
It tastes
laundering.
like soap.
We went to
It's
one
It is
really
money
today.
good.
laundering. It is money laundering.
We went to one today, but
Yeah.
literally just to get Reese's stuff because
They're awful.
I love
It
Reese's.
tastes like soap.
No,
Tastes like
Reese's is
sick.
fine.
Vomit.
Fine.
Vomit cups.
Hershey's tastes like sick. Reese's
Hershey's
is
is
fine.
awful.
And like the fast food, like we're getting more and more Taco Bells, and we've got a Tim Hortons as well
Taco
in
Bell's
Weston
great.
as well. And everyone's like, "Oh, we have to go. It's Taco Bell. It's no, it's horrible. It all tastes the same. It's disgusting.
The
It's
only thing
expensive."
Americans do well is pancakes at breakfast.
Oh,
Actually, Taco
Oh,
Bell's
give me an
not that.
IHOP.
Taco Bell's not expensive.
IHOP any day.
Taco Bell is expensive when
It is.
it goes straight through you.
No, it's not. It's not as much as a Burger King.
Burger King's expensive. Go to McDonald's like a real tight bastard.
I like Taco Bell, so
I just don't like
can
how
have as
they're popping
many
up and
donuts as
taking
you
over
want.
in it as well. Like I'd rather go to a nice little like indie restaurant or something.
Toby Carvery.
Oh, there's
so much.
there's what I don't get it. Toby Carvey's fucking.
I don't get it either. Make your own fucking dinner.
It's fucking
Lazy
foul.
shits. It's fucking horrible.
What do you want? What do
I
you
like a Toby
want?
Carver.
What do you want out of these choices of meat that's been sat under heat lamps for 8 hours?
We definitely we were a 5-star hygiene restaurant. You were until you started cooking.
There's a type of person that does a Toby Carvery who makes it their personality. It's like these fucking smash a carvery me, and he'll
He's
go
called
and get,
Bob,
get
isn't
a
he?
plate, and it's just like piled up with Yorkshire puns and vegetables. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why do you want a Sunday lunch buffet
On a Tuesday.
on a Tuesday?
Sunday lunches, everyone knows, they're better when you make them yourself. Everyone knows that. Way better.
Or better when they're just
I
made
wanted
fresh
to
for
throw
you.
in,
Yes.
I don't like
I
roasts.
don't get certain old traditions that still exist today. For example,
Royal family.
barristers still wearing their curly fucking wigs. I don't understand why barristers have to wear these wigs in.
Do you know what the weird answer is? It is just tradition. There's no other reason for it.
Exactly.
It's
There's no,
just
but they
tradition.
still do it.
It makes no
What does
sense.
it
I bet
say?
they're so itchy.
Why do you think Parliament can only sit when the mace is on the dispatch box? They take that mace away.
Tradition.
Parliament's not
Why-
allowed to stand. It's no particular route. It's just always been the way it's been.
It's just
Yeah.
tradition, isn't it?
Why
People
do
are
they
set in their own
agree in
ways.
PMQs
They're
when
outdone,
something's
just outdated.
mentioned and then they stand up for a second and then sit down? It's
So weird, isn't it?
It's,
Well, that's-
so weird.
it's so weird.
The
to watch.
standing up's to get the attention of the speaker so they can ask a question or make a comment.
Order! I think that's the bygone era, isn't it? People strive for that old traditional thing. Like it's just traditional stuff like with anniversaries, and people name the anniversaries rather than just 22 years. It's the fucking I don't know, clay or whatever. I don't get it.
Darling, we've been together for 22 years. Here's your pile of clay.
Here's a clay bust of you I've made.
I don't get it. Why can't you just celebrate the fact that you've survived for 22 years rather than it's our fucking.
Well,
I don't know.
To be fair, that's 'cause
Curry
most-
anniversary.
I quite liked giving Kate something made out of tin, like as well. I gave her a proper present, but I gave her a tin thing. 10
Tin of
years.
biscuits.
No,
Is that what 10 is? Tin. Tin
Yeah.
10. 10 tin. Oh, that makes sense. But yeah, that's fucking weird. Traditions are fucking stupid.
It's so odd.
do you have another one, Candy? Do you have two?
Oh, I do. It's a bit of a wanger though. It might upset a few people.
Go on.
Here we go.
Let's end with an upset.
last one with the
Last
wanger.
one.
Right, I'll preface this by saying sorry to everyone. Soulsborne games. I just don't.
Oh!
I know.
Go for it.
Eh.
Go for
I
it.
don't-
In the jugular.
I know.
Bethesda games. I don't get them.
That's not true.
It's fine. To be fair, you either get them or you don't get them.
I think
Like-
I think they are Marmite, but I think the majority of people do get them, and it's just not me. I
It's not-
understand a challenge, and I understand a game being hard, and I can understand why you would want to challenge yourself to finish these games. But beyond it being difficult, I just find them quite ugly and quite clunky, and there's just nothing about them that really appeals.
Oh,
to
you've
me.
not played Elden Ring if you think it's ugly.
I would say that they've
Watched
they've gotten better with that over the years. You should try Sekiro. Sekiro is fucking
Have you,
gorgeous.
have you seen Bloodborne, man?
I don't think Bloodborne is nice. I don't like the aesthetics of Bloodborne. I've always said it.
Oh, it's stunning.
I think that people.
Yeah, but Bloodborne's supposed to look horrible and nasty though. Like it's not beautiful.
I find it really dark.
Look, at the end of the day,
beige and
Candy,
dull.
if I can complete it and platinum it, anyone can.
That
Because
doesn't count because you've got
No,
fucking
'cause you
ADHD
played-
superpowers.
And you've been playing them for like 15 years.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not a good gamer. I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not-
get why Oodles has to say gamer like gamer every time.
Because he's
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
he thinks he's taking the
Brand.
piss out of it
Yes.
when he really is one.
It's a brand. It's a brand. But yeah, if you don't get Soulsborne games, man, that's normal, isn't it? Really. I know 50 million people that probably don't get them as well.
I felt
I bet
like
more
was in the
people don't get
minority.
them than do get them.
No,
I think you're the majority.
Despite how well Elden Ring sold, they are still a cult classic.
Niche.
Effectively, yeah.
Niche, yeah.
Like people who are into it are really into it. You don't get casual Soulsborne players. But it's not like a patch on the people who play Call of Duty every year, you know?
Mm. Which I also
Yeah.
didn't get.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy playing a Call of Duty every now and again, but you don't have to just play that one game every year. It's like
But people
FIFA.
do.
But Stig, we've got to prestige. And speaking of which, we've got some prestigious feedback.
We
Not
do.
many, but we've got some.
No, well, the first two, so the are from Cult Connections and the Geekdom Fancast. They're both just coming straight for Stig, just like right down the
No,
line.
one of them is. The other one, I can't.
because Cult Connections is going for wrestling, and Geekdom is going for musicals. I thought you really liked musicals, Stig.
Oh, musicals. I thought one of them mentioned jazz.
Whoa, why is it coming from musicals?
I don't know.
It's joy.
Oh, Hallmark
but-
of Great. It was Hallmark of Greatness had responded to wrestling with jazz. And I was like, yes, I agree.
No, Cult Connections went for wrestling, and Geekdom Fancast went for musicals.
Man, I'd love a fucking wrestling musical film.
Actually, I
I'd be
would
all
watch
over
the
that
shit
shit.
out
Oh
of
my god!
Suplex time.
Wrestling's great, man. The storytelling, it is proper sub.
My God, he's broken in half.
Exactly. Imagine a musical wrestling. It'd be it's perfect for that kind of like over the top.
So-
It could
over
be
the top.
Jerry Lawler, and it could just be called King. And it's his story.
Starring that
So
fucking weirdo.
that's why it'd be funny.
Dan Haddock has said people who eat at the cinema.
I love eating at cinema.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
do.
a sneaky boy.
It
In the
depends
dark.
what you're eating, though. But yeah, I get it.
I usually get stuff from other places like Chip Butty.
I mean,
From Chippy.
I agree with him because I just have a coffee. I don't like to eat at the cinema.
But like,
I don't get
also,
coffee.
While we're on the cinema, I know this is different. I don't get people who have to announce that I don't go to the cinema. I just like to watch it at home because I hate people in the cinema. Fine, I love going to cinema. If you hate
Yeah, I
being
love
around
going to
people at
cinema.
cinema, I
I
don't
hate
care.
people in
I
the cinema. You
care.
don't talk to them. It's not there for. It's not
but
social.
They're always
visit.
like, oh, it's just they're arseholes. They're always noisy. They always do this. And I was like, there's always someone disruptive. And I had this conversation on
Yeah,
WhatsApp
you fucking knock 'em out
the
if
week,
they are.
and I was like, I can remember once in the last. When did The Dark Knight come out? 2008.
Yeah.
It's the last time I've had a disturbance in the cinema.
I've never had it.
Where
I've
little
never had a
where
full-on, like...
kids were throwing shit at people, and I got them kicked out. That's the last time. Other than someone maybe talking, and you're like, "Oh, shut up!" Like, but in terms of like, people seem to think that if you go to the cinema, people are just running around hitting each other and throwing stuff at each other.
Never happened.
It doesn't happen.
Never happened.
But that's the
No.
perception that when they go, "I don't like the cinema because of that." And I'm like,
I need to go more, personally. I only go
Yeah,
like 3
so
to
do
4
I.
times a year.
The only
I
films
really need to come
the
out.
only films I avoid at the cinema, specifically because of people, are simply like family films, just because like kids get unsettled, and that kind of distracts me.
Yeah. Start crying
And those
kids aren't even that bad. I think teenagers are worse than kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the phones.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't
Turn
tend
your
to go
fucking
to
phone off.
I don't tend to go to watch the films that the average teenager would go and watch.
Mate, I say I go to the cinema 3 to 4 times a year. It's usually a Marvel film, and it's just full of teenagers. And I'm the dirty old man in the top corner with my chip butty and my beer.
The last one we've got is Xenos saying, cringe comedy just hurts me emotionally to watch. It's not funny. I just want to leave.
What
I don't know whether
do you
something
mean
is
by
wrong
that?
with, like The Office,
What?
where it's like,
Not The Office?
where it's like uncomfortable because they're like
Like
making
Scott
tits of themselves.
Stotts?
Oh, yeah, that's cringe.
That triggers everyone, that, doesn't it?
That, I mean, I don't mind cringe comedy. That one's a bit much for me.
I can't watch that episode. We've talked about this, haven't we? Me and you skip it.
You have to. No one is
Xenos would
emotionally
die if
ready
he
for
watched that episode. He would die. He would combust. Oh, fucking horrible. That
Like,
is the
I-
cringiest thing I've ever seen.
I get what he says. Like,
Which one's that?
cringe comedy can be hard.
Scott Stotts.
It's a genuinely awful Michael Scott moment of an episode.
It's the one where he's promised the kids the college tuition because he feels like in 10 years' time I'm going to be a millionaire. But
And
he's not.
But he
So he
goes
buys them all batteries.
yeah, he goes to the school to meet them, and like they put on like this musical show for like saying you made our dreams come true kind of shit. And he's like,
That's
so,
right,
I
yeah.
haven't got you scholarships, I've got you laptop batteries.
Batteries.
And it's just so fucking horrific to watch.
I can't watch it. I can't.
Although the best part
Brilliant.
of that episode is the very beginning of it when it says it's mentioned in the newspaper, like Stanley just starts burst out laughing. It's like the most emotional
Yeah, he
character
does.
has.
I think he's probably one of the best ones for cringe comedy, isn't he?
Yeah.
If you watched Dinner for Schmucks,
Yeah,
Yeah, Steve
Ooh,
Carell
that
was
was
brilliant.
so cringy in that. And 40-year-old virgin, he's cringy as fucking that.
He's genius. He's a
Yeah.
genius actor.
He's so good at cringe comedy.
But yeah, that's the feedback we have for this week.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. As always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Please consider becoming a patron to help support our endeavour. Next week, we're going back to the Bowl of Doom.
Whoa, but I took ours out. I've only left Patreon and listener suggestions in
Awesome.
this week. So none of this.
Awesome.
This is definitely going to be one that a listener has picked.
Oh dear.
He's closing his eyes. I love it.
That
You
looks
did it last
wrong,
time.
Stig. That looks wrong.
Are you wanking?
It really does look
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh, right, I've got one.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Right. This one is create a beat 'em up from Lee Davies. Now,
Oh fuck.
hang on,
Oh, fuck.
He sent me this on a tweet, so there's more information on this one. I just
Oh,
create a
no.
beat 'em up because it was too long to put on here. Right. I have an idea to put for a show to put into the hat. The idea for the show is that each of you will write a beat 'em up based on a theme, e.g. Christmas movies. You need to pick 8 characters for the roster and each stage and a stage for them to fight on. You also need to give the characters a set of moves. Example,
Okay.
Elf character, Buddy the Elf, stage Santa's Workshop, a giant burp that damages and knocks back. You need throwing loads of snowballs really fast, etc. You need to decide what type of beat 'em up it is to 3D like Tekken, 2D like Street Fighter, or Smash Brothers style. Feel free to add your extra magic.
I've got
to your
mine
pitch.
already.
Same.
I've got it already up there. I've got every single character.
So
I've got
you
the stage.
can do anything you want. Movie characters, they're your own universes, books, TV, whatever. Yep, go nuts.
The Oxford English Dictionary beat 'em up.
I assume Candy's going to do the Bethesda beat 'em up in the style of Smash Brothers.
She's
Well,
writing it
possibly.
down furiously.
I am. I'm making notes already.
I'll have to come up with something good. I ain't got nothing right now, but that sounds like it could be a lot of fun. I liked when we have to create things like that.
Yes, that's a good concept. That brilliant. Thank you, Lee, for that. But yeah, if you are a patron, we've probably got more things we don't get in there. It's going to be quite a hefty little patron segment, and it's worth knowing. The other thing, I've got a massive list, guys. I need answers, and Gadget's here to give me those answers. Yep. But for everyone that's not a patron, this has been an episode. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for Beat 'em Ups. Headshot. Bye.
Here comes a new challenger. Bye.
Well, Jeremy Clarkson then. Escapism.
Escapism.